This is about delivering great exclusive games to whatever platform we choose.
Welcome to the Games Talk Live podcast. Welcome, everyone, to this kind of mini reunion of sorts here of the RDX Real Deal Xbox podcast. Of course, if you've been here for a while, if you've been an RDX fan for a while, you know all these gentlemen here tonight. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a couple of others to join us. One being Dealer, the host of RDX. I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him in a while, but everybody asks about him week in, week out. The last time I heard from him about a month ago, he was doing very well, so I assume he's still continuing to do very well. And then the other one, I reached out to none other than Tim Dog, and Tim Dog declined to come. He said he's tired. He's very tired, so he couldn't make it tonight. So everybody throw him a boo for not coming tonight, because it would have been a lot of fun. Yes, we can curse here.
Tim, you're being a bitch.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Doctor always looking for the golden ticket every time.
You can hear those voices, but first let me introduce everyone to everybody. Of course, you know my co-host, week in, week out, Hargeet I, also a member of RDX. How's it been?
It's been good. It's been good. Yeah. It's been an interesting week, and we finally got some interesting news over the last couple of days, in the last day or so.
Yeah, and then we got some interesting news just tonight. So we'll be discussing that as well. And of course, over to my left or your right, depending on how you're watching, this is none other than Colt Eastwood. Colt, how have you been, my friend? I already know how you've been, but tell everybody else how you've been, because we talk daily.
I know some of us talk like way too much. I've been really good. I'm currently playing Red Dead Redemption 2. You and I are both playing it from scratch, and what a great game that Zocker and Dealer didn't love, but we're still good friends. Yeah, it's good. I wish Dealer and Tim were here, and they would if they could. I always think about sometimes like Dealer hasn't been making content, and we talk to him like, every once in a while. And I'm like, oh, he's missing out on the most horrible news sometimes, because the gaming news has been kind of dicey lately, but we'll get into it today.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it can be kind of frustrating. It's like we're back. We're
going to get into all the frustrations we're having with gaming. I know some of us here are having some frustrations with current games and stuff. One of those gentlemen is right down below me. Zocker87, welcome. Soccer. Welcome, my friend. Also,
hello.
Somebody I talk to probably just about daily. Yeah,
pretty much. I think we talk like every day. And the news has been kind of dicey, but I will say, just to keep it on a positive note, the Space Marine 2 news that came out with everybody that's played it has been extremely positive, which makes me one of the most hyped people alive right now, because I talked about this game before it was even announced that I wanted this, and it is my most hyped game of the year by far. It's not even close. I'm going to put so much time into that game. I hope it launches well. So just keep it positive. Other than that, trash. So
finally a game that piques your interest, because I know you've been kind of in a lull lately with gaming. As have I in a lot of ways, and I'll explain why later. We'll get into all this stuff, but we're going to talk games tonight. We're going to talk news and stuff, but moreover, we are just going to be talking to you guys, because we are just happy to be here together, and we're going to have a good time. That's for sure. Shout out to Boss Mod Lethal Papa holding it down in the chat. It's good to see him here. Honestly, old school RDX moderator right there. Hats off to Boss Mod.
The best moderator in the game, bro. We love you, bro.
Best moderator. Yep.
The best.
And of course, you hear the voice over there. We've got the techie himself, Mr. Dee Batch. Dee, welcome, my friend.
Yeah, man. What's up, man? It's good to have the whole crew back together. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm catching up on the gaming stuff. Summertime, I'm outside. I'm kind of logged off of everything. Yeah, man. So it's good to actually get together and talk about some of these things. And my summer's about to end soon, because gaming's going to start up again with Wukong and, of course, the new Star Wars game. So I'm going to be back to gaming real soon anyway. So
I think you mean Wukong.
Wukong. I don't know why. Wulong was the Pornhub that I watched today. Sorry, my bad.
So, you were on the PlayStation 5 confirmed, huh? Okay.
Oh, geez.
Wulong Fallen Dynasty was a game. Yeah, last week.
Wulong was a game. But no, Wukong, I'm excited for that as well. Be playing that on the PC, which, guys, some people have a problem with the whole, if you talk Xbox, you can't talk PC. I'm sorry, but Xbox has been on PC since 2016, going on how many years now, and we're still fighting that? Xbox is everywhere. If you enjoy your console, that's great, but some of us enjoy playing on the PC as well. So it is what it is.
Zocker, we got another one.
Zocker started this whole mess, D. He's the one that started this mess.
I did start it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking finish it. I'm coming for you, Colt.
He's the only guy who's Xbox Core or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this whole summer I've been playing on PC.
And
you
go back and forth though.
I go back and forth.
Yeah, you go
Xbox
back and forth.
Treat their console properly.
By the way, we got
they keep missing games.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we got some super chats I want to get to. Logic Bomb with the $5 here says, in Assassin's Creed, you play as a descendant of the character using the Animus. So how can they make your character L or G in LGBT? I don't know. I would ask, how could you even bring up T if there is no T within Assassin's Creed? I don't know. Look, I just know for some people, some of these games are getting very quote unquote woke, and a lot of people are getting upset about that and everything. Even I myself, I to a degree, I'm like, I don't need this or that in my gaming. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a video game. Play as you wish. They give you the choice within the game, and that's what it boils down to. So, I mean,
hey, well, the game says like Altair didn't harm civilians if you accidentally stab like a pedestrian or whatever in the game, but it never says, Alexios didn't make out with a goat, but it lets you do that, and Zocker did it many times. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
That fucking goat was eyeing me. I need you to relax. All right, that's what happens. But
leave my goat alone. The hell.
I think this whole thing's kind of over. Ubisoft put out a thing saying like they apologized, all that stuff. And honestly, it's a fucking video game. People.
They finally, they walked it back, saying, "Hey, it's a game." At the end of the day,
It's not even just that. Just like, do you get your history lessons from Assassin's Creed or like Civilizations or all these games that are coming out? I don't think so. Just like I don't get like my medical advice from a podcast. You just, just enjoy the game, play it the way you want. And if you don't want to play it, don't play it. I think the developer making it made my favorite Assassin's Creed and Odyssey. So I'm going to play it and run around and mess people up and have a good time. I don't care.
Those are facts right there. They're the Odyssey team. Arguably one of the best Assassin's Creeds out there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Phoenix Rising, by the way.
Yep.
I'll say this. Controversy steers interest, man. This game's going to do gangbuster numbers. First of all, like, I know you guys are hardcore Assassin's Creed guys, and I've played them from the beginning, and I've played a lot of them and, like, not finished them. I lost interest halfway through it. But this one, the combat, the character, it's just I don't know. It's like a breath of fresh air for me to the Assassin's Creed series. So I don't know. You guys that play it religiously, what do you think?
I gotta say, back in 2017, you were all hopped up about Assassin's Creed Aladdin, what we used to call it on RDX. Like, you had been watching the development of Assassin's Creed Origins in 2017, and you would get on the show and talk about how awesome it was. And I was like, oh, no one wants to play Assassin's Creed Egypt. It looks so dumb. And then you kept talking about it, and I started watching stuff because of you, D. All of a sudden, that became one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds, and then Odyssey surpassed it. But I agree. Those games are amazing. I think they've just made this evolution up, and I'm so looking forward to Shadows. I'm glad you said it's going to sell at gangbusters, because I think people are going to talk about the boycott. I think the game is going to do really well sales-wise, and I know a lot of us in this room can't wait to play it.
Okay, you guys, let's cut through the minutia here. like because
Okay.
I've really been touching grass, maybe smoked a little bit too, and honestly,
Nice.
I don't know what boycott. What are people upset about? Let's talk about it.
Oh, well, okay. So basically, the fact that a lot of people, since there's not a lot of information about Yasuke being an actual samurai, there is kind of things that allude that he could be out there in history, but there's not enough stuff out there written or anything stating that he was a samurai, and that Ubisoft is basically doubling and tripling down saying, hey, we are historically accurate. Yes, Yasuke is a samurai and all this stuff. And they took it from a very controversial author. Like they hired this guy, Thomas, I forgot his name. But anyway, this author who wrote these books about Yasuke. And yeah, Thomas something. He's a white dude. He's been writing about Yasuke and saying that he was a samurai and stuff. And basically, all the information he got it from was from a wiki, basically, which he was found to be editing under another name. That same wiki saying that Yasuke was a samurai and stuff. And it's just like it's a big freaking ordeal.
This shit's actually kind of wild.
Okay,
so it's weird. It's weird.
I dug a little into this when this was happening. I thought it was something a different controversy. I can't believe people are still upset about this. So first of all, the government came out and said, "Listen, like everybody, like pull your pants up. Like what the hell's going on here? It's a video game for one. You're asking us the government to like search into that. We got more pertinent things to look after than a stupid video game. It's a video game. One." Number two, I saw a lot of historical scholars and these guys that know all the information. I don't know their technical term, but a lot of them all said that there's evidence of this, that he was indeed anointed as a samurai. He was going out and working for them. He was given a sword. He was given a house. And
you know what?
Of the samurai. So he was
like
an honorary samurai. So,
yeah, that is the only thing they have evidence of is the fact that he was given a sword and given a house. But a lot of people had made the claims or actually pointed out that the truth was that even merchants were given a sword and a house back then during that time. And so they're like, he helped. Like some people are saying, he just helped one of the samurai guys. He was one of his helpers.
Merchant. He also
kind of like you know what it was. A lot of people liken it to what do you call those? What the knights have that help them out? Those guys. Is it a squire? Squire, kind of like a squire to a knight. That's what a lot of people liken it to.
Okay, so also too. Who's upset about
this?
But
who cares?
Are the Japanese people upset about this?
Yes. It's actually, and honestly, there is a lot of people here that is also upset. Seem to be upset about it. I don't know why exactly. I mean, I can understand frustration or not liking that history is being rewritten, or if you feel that way. But at the end of the day, as Colt's been saying and I've been saying, it's a video game. And I don't look to Ubisoft for historical accuracy in any of these games because, I mean, if you think about it, you're not. There was no secret society where you were running around stealthily jabbing people in the neck with a wrist knife. Okay, back then either. So it's just.
I think there's enough too much historical accounts of Yasuke as he was to make him a samurai in an Assassin's Creed game.
Let's just say loosely based on Yasuke. Like, can we agree on that and like move on? Like, what the hell?
But Fonz made the point that they doubled down and they tripled down on it, which they should have said. Look, we're taking creative license from a historical figure that was very samurai-like or makes a great samurai in our video game or something like that. Yeah. But the Japanese government said, who cares? Other historians besides this one writer, this Thomas guy, I forgot I made a video and deleted it because people are being so racist. I couldn't even stand it. But I think the point is the game looks freaking awesome. The game looks so good. And Naoe and Yasuke look like really good character. I was like the tank character. I was like, I don't know if I'll like that. And the more I watch it, I'm like, I'm going to do that. I may pick the girl samurai more often because of the play style, but I just want to play the game. I think it looks good.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the first Assassin's Creed in like years that I'm actually hyped to play on, man. Like it's going to be good. I don't care. It's going to be good. Hate all you freaking want. Listen, there are some examples of maybe like woke stuff in games that's maybe like pushed on you. This isn't that instance. And just like Star Wars Outlaws, people are upset. Oh, I gotta play as a chick. Like, who cares? Like, I don't know, man.
She's better hair though, D. We can agree on that.
Colt said, "Who cares if you play as a chick? She better have good hair."
I gotta say this for the samurai Yasuke thing, whatever, and thing. I think he is a perfect character to put in a fictional game because he was there. There's not a lot of like history about him, and the history that is there, it's kind of like
it's
hearsay.
Interesting.
And the person that's reporting this is saying this is hearsay, so they can just kind of throw him in any situation with actual people that existed and people that did things, and so it's like boom, you just throw him in there. You just don't go around saying like, oh, this is 100% fact. It's like, bro, we're playing a video game here. I don't think he was running on roofs and smashing people with maces and killing 78,000 people at a time like we're going to be doing. So like it's a good catalyst. He's a good catalyst to push the game forward, push some of the stories forward and some of the side quests, all that stuff. That's all I really care about at the end of the day with the game because it's an Assassin's Creed game. As for like the Star Wars stuff, I think Ubisoft right now, like that Star Wars game looks completely uninspired to me. Like it does not, like, I'm sorry. Maybe this is a weird take. I love Star Wars. I read the books. I read all that stuff. When it comes to video games, outside of like Battlefront and crazy cool stuff, I don't know if I'm interested in playing as like somebody that just shoots stuff. Like I like lightsabers. I like cool shit. Like if that's not in there, like what are we doing? Like force powers. Like this is why Jedi Survivor was fun and all those other games that I'm not like. And if you look at the previews, people weren't going like this game sucks. They were like, oh, it was cool. Like it was almost like in the middle, which is even worse because it's like, oh, you don't hate it, but you don't like it, so it's just a nothing. That is
so. What's the
Metacritic
going to be on it?
What was that, Colt?
What's the Metacritic going to be on it in your prediction?
I think it's gonna be like 77.
I think it's gonna be high 70s.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like 77.
Personally, for me, I'm excited. I don't think it always has to be about the Force. We got enough games that showcase that. I think it's a little bit different. I think you're gonna have some exploration. You're gonna have different planets to go to. You know, it's like
what games do the Force stuff?
It's like a Han Solo game. You know. A Han Solo game.
Then make Han Solo. Make a character we know. Like, bro, I'd be down to play Han Solo. What the fuck? Can you imagine have like a Chew? Like instead of like God of War Dad, you have Chewbacca with you.
I like that it's something different. I like that it's something new. I think it looks fantastic. I'm excited for something fresh. So for me,
you know what worries me about the game though is, and I've told this to Colt. I'm still not sure about its open world. Like. To me, every time I've seen gameplay on this game, it doesn't look as open as I'd like it to be. Kind of like when, case in point, we're playing Red Dead 2. If you see a mountain over there, you can go to it and freaking explore it, climb it, whatever. It seems like every time I've seen gameplay of this, and it's outdoors, it seems like it's in a narrow canyon or you're on a path, a specific path on your speeder, and you don't see too much off to the sides to even go to or whatever. And I'm wondering, like, is it like hub world? Is it kind of just these biomes that are kind of open world, but they're very small? Or are we going to be on or is it going to be fully explorable?
Red Dead 1's world, playable world wasn't really big. Like you could go up and down West Austrian, whatever, like pretty quickly. So maybe it's kind of like that. My worry is that the open world is more like the last Saints Row game. Like there's stuff you can do, and it's certainly open, but how great is it? Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm worried about too. Is like not like going out there and not having much to do in it. Kind of like when we were playing Gears 5 and their open world, their little hub world, where you'd be on that skiff for a while and there'd be nothing out there. And it's like, why am I doing this? What's the
dealers
point
like
of this?
dealers used to always say, why aren't there like some drones out there like ice skating on the ice or whatever?
Some enemies.
Like fucking pirouetting, like,
I already
hello.
know.
Yeah, with
Start
their hands
shooting you.
behind their back. Yeah.
I know by Hargeet's face. Hargeet's not interested in this Star Wars at all. He's not interested in any Star Wars.
Yes, Hargeet, tell us what it's going
I
to
don't
be.
give two shits about either one of these games. Fuck Assassin's Creed. I think it's done for me. And fuck Star Wars. It's a dead franchise.
Yo, I'm talking about Hargeet
Damn.
coming in here with the
Hargeet
difference.
is fire. I love it.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Hargeet's got enough to play with Game Pass. There's tons of games there that he will
Just
play.
Mushroom Kingdom and Tinky Winky.
We're like talking about the
Simulator
games. Hargeet threw a fucking grenade in here and was like, "That's
Yeah,
what I
he's
think
like,
about this."
fuck your games.
I mean, it's a good thing that you guys care about it because I do not care.
Yeah.
I will not play Shadows at all, and fuck Star Wars.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there with Hargeet. I haven't liked a lot of the Star Wars shows that have come out except for Andor, and then even the game, like I just said earlier, it looks uninspired. I don't. It's like, especially when it's releasing like a week before Space Marine 2. Like, dude, I'm not playing you. Like, I am sorry. Space Marine 2 looks like I'm gonna be stuck there. Like, it's over. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna kill some shit. It's gonna be freaking dope.
What if Space Marine 2 sucks?
What if you suck? How about that?
I'm just asking.
Aren't the
What
previews
if
pretty
it
good?
sucks?
The previews like yesterday and today or whatever. Were you watching them, Zocker?
I watched. I literally watched a bunch of them while I was working. I didn't see. I was
What are
just
they saying?
listening.
Give us what are they saying?
So a lot of people genuinely were saying that about a month before you play a game, you kind of know what it is, right? Like Scale Up talked about it. He's like, you kind of know what it is. You're not really surprised. And he's like, I was genuinely surprised of how much stuff is out in this game. And he's like, there's a whole campaign with cutscenes. There's an entire co-op mode where you play with different classes and you do a bunch of missions, and you could do that all with your friends and the campaign with your friends. And then there's an entire versus mode, which they didn't even get to touch yet. So he was like genuinely surprised, and you can customize your Space Marine any way you want, design it any way you want, unlock armor, unlock guns. Each gun has a skill tree. Each class has a skill tree. He's like, he was genuinely surprised. And on top of it, it has DLSS, FSR, and he said that it was well optimized when he played it. And every single person across the board said that from last year to now, it is extremely well optimized. So that is huge for me. Like, I'm so happy for that, because every game that's come out has been freaking trash on launch day, and we all know that.
I'm showing
Every
it
game.
right now, by the way. I'm showing some of the gameplay that's was shown by IGN, by the way, who only uploads at 1080p for crying out loud. Get with
Yeah,
that
the
times,
lowest
IGN.
bit rate too. I watched some of IGN's footage, and it is the lowest quality. If I was a studio, I'd be so mad. It's like, here's our file, and they dumb it down to the lowest settings and upload it as quickly as possible. Like,
well, why did they do that? Are they using like a old Nokia phone for internet? Like, what the hell?
No, I think they just have
I
a
don't get
protocol. They want their stuff uploaded as quickly as possible, and they just, here's the settings we do, and I don't know, but they certainly don't. They
And
have
just-
some stuff.
And just so everybody knows, like, everybody's like, oh, it's going to get boring fighting just these hordes of Tyranid. That was one of the criticisms that these people had. And they said that during this preview, that was not a problem. They didn't show bosses, so they don't spoil it. They said it's completely different. They showed, they even talked about it. There are like Chaos Space Marines, which are fucking dope, and that they're completely different, and they fight just like in the game, like the tabletop game. And there's all these other stuff. Like, it just, chef's kiss, boys. I'm so hyped
And
for this game. I don't care.
Game Pass or not, or it is in Game Pass.
No, it's
What?
not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not.
Because
No,
they
it's
know
not.
this motherfucker's gonna sell. I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
real.
it's
Like,
okay.
they already know.
You know, I've got a ton of super chats here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I've got them all here, guys. So don't worry about that. But I have to read this one first because it just popped up. It's from Psychonauts, who says, "Miss ya, dealer, and the RDX crew. I like turtles." You remember how Dealer used to always say that? I like turtles. Yeah, I remember that that was early on. He used to say that. Man,
I like.
we all
her.
miss Dealer. We all miss Dealer.
Yeah, we do. Stilo,
Yes.
by the way, said this reminds me of Gears, but I mess with it. I agree, because I've
Kind
been
of,
craving
yeah.
like a Gears of War game, and this seems like a crazier just kind of over the top game that is kind of Gears of War, but it has a lot of melee, has a lot of quick movement. I mean, you're a freaking Space Marine. You have like 5 hearts, right? Like you're gonna fuck shit up. So I can't wait for this game. And then Gears of War is gonna come out like a year or 2 later. So it's like perfect timing. And yeah, I'm down, man. And if anybody played World War Z, you know that this developer knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I played a little bit of World War Z. I didn't care for it much, but I don't like horde games like this, like just wave after wave of enemy. It's just not something that I care
this
for.
has a campaign, but the world is so much like Gears, and like you have like a Roman neo future with Space Marine 2, and you sort of had that with the world of Gears. And so even back when the game came out on the 360 PS3 era, remember Zocker, people were like, oh my gosh, it's a Gears of War clone. They said that even back in 2009.
Yeah, and
whatever.
That's so dumb. Yeah. I and World War Z, by the way, I beat that game 3 times. I played it with Dealer. Like, me and him went through the whole thing, and we played with Lethal Papa. We went through that whole thing. We had a blast with that. And then I played it by myself, and then I played it with a bunch of other buddies. So I'm so hyped for this thing, man. I can't wait. It's a month away after all the previews and everything. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. And after playing, I've beaten the first Space Marine like 4 or 5 times. I played it on my Steam Deck recently, actually. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. Sorry, I'm talking about this game like crazy, but it was the biggest news that came out today for gaming, for me at least.
Yeah. Danny Passion official. Well, he's just Danny Passion now, it seems. Are you not official anymore, Danny? Because I think you're official. He sends a super chat of $2. He says, Fonz, I guessed it on your Twitter. RDX is back. Well, for tonight it is. Kind of. It's not always going to be. It's not the same without Dealer. It's just not. Face 23 BKNY sends the $1.99 and says, Sony is doomed. Quite possibly, he may be right. I don't know. He thinks we're just going to smash on Sony tonight and talk crap about Sony. You know what? You are so right. So right. Because why not? Why not? Just for you. Just for you. Because you've got another super chat coming up that I'm going to talk about here. And I think it's pretty funny. Red Wolf sends $2 and says, the Batman is the best Batman movie ever made. That's shout out to Zocker, right? That's got to be.
Ban this person, whoever said that shit. Ban him. Get him out of here. Arata Alata. Trash. God, don't get me started.
The Angry Hippie sends a $2 super chat and says, how many ponies have you made cry in Sea of Thieves, Zocker?
A lot. And not just I made everybody cry. I don't care.
I bet
it's gotten so much better.
PlayStation guys, when you go sing,
there was actually when it launched on PlayStation, there were a lot of people that you can tell from their cosmetics on their ships and just the way they played that they were PlayStation guys because they don't know what they're doing, which is totally
hands
normal.
On their hips and they danced a lot.
And then everybody thought it was going to be friendly, like you tell them how to play, and I'm like just headshotting them and then like camping their corpse. I'm saving their ship for them so they keep spawning on it and then they just disconnect. I'm like, don't come back around these parts, bitch. You don't want this.
By the way, that blue number has your back, Zocker, and says, no, it's not, Red. Batman is not the best Batman movie, according to
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight is probably the best, and that's because, of course, of the one and only freaking Joker in that movie. Did awesome. Did a freaking amazing job. Heath Ledger. Red Wolf sends another 2 and says, yes, it is blue. Okay, you guys are going to have a spat about this.
Goes over and over.
Over and over. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Go ahead and do it all night. I'll take the $2 super chat.
If you want to have a spat back and forth, you have to escalate the super chat amount. So the next one's got to be 5.
Exactly. Then the next one. Yeah. Then we'll know who was right at the end of the night. And here is a big one.
Right.
Appreciate you, Face 23 BKNY, with the $20 here, the $19.99. Says Fonz, he always tells me this: sell your PS5 and wait for PlayStation games to hit PC. And D, are you getting a PS5 Pro to see its tech? At first I'll say, I'm not going to sell my PS5 just because I know it upsets you so much, Face. I love that you tell me to do it over and over. It's just sitting there collecting so much dust. So much dust. I want you to know that. and I'm just letting it accumulate that dust as long as possible.
What's coming out this year, though?
Oh,
Astro?
Again, Astrobot?
And Silent Hill 2.
It's going to continue to collect so much dust. Oh, Silent Hill 2? Oh, even more dust. Man, I might just
And
pour my
Concords on
vacuum
PC,
cleaner
so-
contents out on the freaking PS5 and let it sit there and cry some more. No, seriously, I'm not getting rid of it. What would I get out of it right now anyway? A couple $100, if that. Doesn't make sense.
I will be getting rid of my PlayStation 5 when
For the
PlayStation
PS5 Pro
comes out.
See, I knew that was coming.
I want that 60 FPS.
Here's the thing.
baby.
I love
What's
the
60
fact
FPS?
it's,
Like all the games are already 60. Like there's like what, 1 or 2 games that aren't 60?
And there will be 60, and it'll be less restrictions on certain games. And
I mean, do you have a
hopefully,
freaking PC?
hopefully,
Why do you care?
hopefully GTA will be running at 60.
that's what everybody
GTA.
hopes. That's what everybody
Bro,
hopes.
You're
GTA
like
6.
insanity. You're like being abused. Like you understand that it's not going to happen. Like the PS5 Pro is not going to be pushing any boundaries, bro. Like it's just not.
Well,
And if you
they're
think
gonna be
their
using- well,
software,
they're
unless they have Nvidia doing it, they're not moving their software either.
They have actual AI upscaling that has supported hardware like Nvidia DLSS on there. So it has.
Wait,
We don't
wait,
know.
wait. Is it-
Propri-
is it-
We don't know.
proprietary.
We don't know. Hey, hold on. We don't know
Is it
until we
is it
see it.
DLSS or is it like
No, it's
DLSS?
proprietary.
DISS.
It's proprietary.
It's proprietary, but it does the
It's
same shit.
pisser.
And it it
It's
doesn't do the
pisser.
same shit. This
Yeah,
is
it's
why
pisser.
Nvidia's
It's
stock
pisser.
went up. It's not as good as Nvidia, and it won't be as good as Nvidia. This is why Nvidia stock dominates.
Here we go.
Just because it's
Listen,
like
they have-
doesn't mean
hold
it's
on
going
a
to be
second.
doing it.
We can't. You know what? I'm not going to do this again this generation
Fight.
until we actually see it.
Fight.
But it has the potential to be something great, and we're just going to have to wait and see it in action. But on paper, it has the potential to be something great. And
Are you saying
I think
greatness
at the
awaits?
very
Like
least,
marketing
they
for
could bring
Xbox
over
right
some
there.
of these games that aren't at 60 FPS to up to 60 FPS is good. And like for me, an example would be GTA, because GTA is not going to be coming out on PC the same time as it is on the consoles. And I'm not waiting 2 years to play GTA, and I don't want to play GTA at 30 FPS, right? So that would
You'll
be a
play it,
reason
you'll like
for the PlayStation 5 Pro, because if you think that the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to run it the same way as the PlayStation 5, I don't think so. And even
What,
even if
GTA?
it does, even if it doesn't get to a 60 FPS and it's like a 50 FPS with VRR, I'll fucking take that.
What if it's only 30 on the PS5 Pro?
Then that's a fucking.
But
big
there's
out.
ray tracing though. You get ray trace shadows.
That's a big out. It should have a 60 FPS.
They're
mode.
reporting
that would be a big
PS5.
out. The game's still gonna
reporting-
sell, but it's not gonna move the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Time out,
And if
time out,
if
time
you're
out.
smart and you want to move your PlayStation 5 Pro, that's the fucking game to do.
Time the fuck out. First of all, Rockstar
Dang it.
doesn't give a shit about moving their PlayStation 5, Sony's PlayStation 5. Rockstar cares about selling games. So
Yeah,
it's
but
going to
they're
come out at
partnered.
30, and then a
Partnered.
year or two later, it's going to come out at 60 and sell it all over again. They're going to do
They're
the same
partnered.
thing they did.
They're
They're-
partnered.
They don't care if they're partnered, but Rockstar holds
That's just
the bag.
marketing. That's just marketing.
They don't care.
That's marketing
But-
money.
It's
Listen,
just
when you got a new console coming out, I you know what? We're just gonna
I'll
have to
tell
agree
you,
to
PlayStation and Sony care. Rockstar does not care.
Yeah,
and
but
if it
they
does-
can care
PlayStation
with
5
some
Pro.
money, with
The
some
pl-
money.
PlayStation, they'll get their money either way. The PlayStation 5 Pro is rumored to have a 10% boost in performance on the CPU.
Yes,
And
that is
AI
correct.
upscaling is not going to push a game up to 60 FPS.
If it has dedicated hardware on there at it's not going to be 4K 60. Nobody's fucking saying that. But at a 1440p 60 with upscaling, let's just wait and see, man.
Just like the Series
I-
X.
I'm
I
gonna
just gotta be
ray
honest
tracing.
because that tech that's gonna be in the PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm pretty sure is the next generation of RDNA tech. So
Do you know
we're
what I'm
just gonna have to
noticing though,
freaking wait.
D? I've got to talk to you about this. So DLSS even is, we can all agree here that DLSS is the best when it comes to AI tech, when it comes to, okay. So why is it these games are so demanding? Even some of the games that you wouldn't think are so demanding, if you don't use the DLSS, the game's frame rates tank. Some of these new games.
Yeah.
You can't even run it on a 4090 with some of these games and get 60 frames on some of these games.
Remember when I tried to run Red Dead 2 on my PC before I upgraded everything, and thanks to Hargeet for one of the biggest upgrades, but I didn't have enough RAM. I was going 1440p just to get 60 on a $2,000 PC. And so the performance of the PS5 Pro, if that game has some VRR mode that runs at a quasi 60 or a 45 frames per second, I'm going to predict if that is on the PS5 Pro, that's also going to be available on the Series X. Because I think performance-wise, CPU-wise,
it wouldn't
the PS5 Pro can't be that much better than the Series X.
I got to stop you right there. That's super cap because it doesn't have the same hardware. No,
it doesn't.
It would. FSR, we've already seen what FSR is capable of doing.
It's the same
versus an AI upscaler that's on a neural network that has dedicated hardware. It's like night and day.
But wait a minute, aren't they comparing? Like the only comparison I've even heard about yet between the PS5 Pro's proprietary DLSS or PSSR, whatever they're calling it, I feel like the pisser. They've only compared it to FSR2 thus far, from what I've been hearing.
Because it's CPU bound, you can't lower the resolution and use AI upscalers to get more performance. And that's what Digital Foundry is trying to explain, that you can't lower the resolution like 720p and AI upscale it on the PS5 Pro and then get better performance if you're already CPU bound, which they're pretty sure their best guesstimate is that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be very CPU bound. And so the PS5 Pro will probably be 30 FPS. So will the Series S.
Like I said, it's not gonna. I definitely know it's not gonna. I can't say with certainty that it's gonna be 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro. I can't. Nobody can say that.
I would love it to be
one
that,
thing,
though.
One thing I can say is that it's not going to be 30 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro. It will most definitely have an unlock mode. Because it just has extra GPU power alone. Will allow
you really think they're going to unlock it on a console?
What are you talking about?
Not
this game is gonna be on the consoles for like 2 years before it hits PC. Let's just say.
I doubt it'll be that
PlayStation. The PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be coming out around the same time that GTA is coming out at.
You mean next year? So it's not coming out this year.
The PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out this year. Sorry. What I'm saying, GTA is coming out next year, and that would be something that would really move the needle with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I got to be honest with you, if games are looking and running better on the PlayStation 5 Pro, console guys are fickle. They're gonna want that console over the Series X, over the regular PlayStation 5. It's just the way they
already want the console over the Series.
And to think that no games are gonna run at a higher frame rate on the PlayStation 5 Pro is kind of asinine. Because some games on the PlayStation 5 are CPU limited. Very few, but some are CPU limited. There are also games that are GPU limited. The games that are GPU limited will not be GPU limited on the PlayStation 5 Pro, which will allow them to actually have a higher frame rate, even though the CPU is just 10% better.
But hold on, D, I know you're saying that they're going to go for their fickle and all that. They're not fickle, bro. Like, it's over. PlayStation has at like 61 million sold apparently now reported. The Xbox is already at 28 or 30 million.
And there's
just so everybody knows, I got destroyed 4 years ago when I said that I don't think the Series X and the Series S is going to reach 45 million. That's what I said. I said they're going to reach 45 million at the cap. That's the most they're going to sell. And I got killed for it. You could talk to Hargeet, you could talk to everybody in here. I said that live. I said that everywhere. And they might not even reach 35 million at this rate. So I'm just telling you that people, the regular people don't care. So GTA is one of the biggest games in the world. They're going to release it at whatever they want it to be. If it's 30, it's going to be 30 and tough luck. And I guarantee you it's still going to sell tens of millions of
agree
units.
With that. Yeah.
And then a year later, when it comes on PC and they work on it and optimize it, then they'll bring out another version. If they do the same strategy, let's say, they'll bring in another version that's like, oh, you could do this now and this. And yeah, it is 60. Who knows what they're going to do, but Rockstar does not give two flying fucks about what people think and what console they're going to buy. Yeah, they just care about where they're going to play it. That's it.
I agree with you on that, but I do not think that the PlayStation 5 Pro version of that game and the PlayStation 5 version will be running at the same time. I think it's just stupid.
I mean, if it's 60, then that's freaking dope. Then cool. I hope people enjoy it.
I'm not saying 60. No. I'm just saying it won't be 30.
So you're saying, but like the point is,
at the very worst, it'll be like 45 unlocked.
So if it's 45 unlocked, I get some games, like very few have done that. And the reason that became like very popular was because of the Steam Deck. Like it did. Like Steam Deck, people were playing on a small screen at 45 frames per second and we're like, yo, this feels really good. But when you put it on a big screen, it does not feel nearly as good. It just doesn't.
I gotta disagree with you on that one. For sure.
That's just me. I mean, maybe I'm just different. I don't know.
If they're gonna be using like their frame gen that we know is gonna be on that system pretty much as well, so they're gonna be using frame gen as well. It's gonna be pretty smooth. You're gonna have a small hit to latency, obviously, but at the cost of having smoother performance, I think it's worth it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna reach 60. I think in theory it can. But I think at worst case scenario, it's going to be like 45 unlocked frame gen, VRR, because the PlayStation 5 Pro has a better VRR range than the PlayStation 5.
I just don't see Rockstar unlocking their frame rate on their game. They want it to be solid.
I think
Red Dead was like a solid lock 30 the whole on both consoles last year.
Yeah, but I think you underestimate Sony and Sony's willingness to get this done, because it would move a lot of freaking systems. GTA,
but
GTA is like the.
They certainly didn't do it with PS4 Pro.
But the difference
is none of that with PS4 Pro.
There's a difference between
most players aren't going to care about this.
Yeah, but there's a difference between to what Dee was saying, between Sony created games for their specific platform and multi-plat, games being created by outside sources. Rockstar isn't going to build a game only that for Sony's machine. It doesn't have that in mind. They've got to create it for all the systems, and also I'm sure they are creating it or already porting it over to the PC or doing stuff for the PC as we speak, but they're just not going to release that till a year after.
Why would they not opt? I just don't understand this. Why would they not optimize it for the PlayStation 5 Pro? Why would they not
care? Because they don't care. The thing that they care about
is what I think is going to happen.
What I think is going to happen, D, is that they're going to have exclusive missions. Anyway. They're going to have exclusive missions. I think 2K and Rockstar is not. That's not going to be below them. I think they're going to have exclusive missions that are Sony exclusive, and people are going to be like, "Oh, you could do this or you can do that by yourself." And then you can only do that on PlayStation 5.
I think I gotta clip this and revisit it next year.
Do they have a marketing deal with them? Is that confirmed?
Yes, we do.
Everyone is. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but everybody's assuming.
Everybody's assuming.
Yeah, everybody assumes.
But there's going to be some sort of content that they will use so they can have exclusive on the marketing materials for.
And I've heard rumors the opposite. By the way, I've heard rumors of the opposite too.
And if Sony does pressure them to get better optimization out of their console, then you know what? Fuck, cool. Sure, but that doesn't. We've seen sales. It doesn't matter. Like it don't matter. Like Xbox is more powerful.
Okay, so
it doesn't matter.
It does not sell more for multi-plat.
It doesn't sell more.
And I also don't see.
That's why next gen's going to be different.
I really don't see Xbox gamers dropping their hundreds of games they own on Xbox to play multi-plats on a PS5 Pro. So, in fact, it's actually projected.
And by the way, I don't think most people are going to upgrade either, because just basing it on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, most people did not buy that either. So it's really just a small percent of players, 5 to 8%, that are going to care, and they'll go spend the money. The rest do not care. Dude, you can just look at the college football game. They just went to the Series S. They don't care. They just want to play the game.
Yep.
They really don't care.
They're making Grand Theft Auto 6 for 100 million consoles. With the Xbox Series and the PS5, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give two flying craps about the PS5 Pro, other than making sure that it gets packable.
I'm actually more curious.
I guess is why I sit here and calculate my PC.
Yeah,
right.
That's literally
I think
what
they'll
I'm
wait
telling
1
you.
year for PC too. I don't think they'll wait 2 years.
It's only 1 year. That's how it was with Red Dead 2. It was 1 year. Yeah. 1 year later.
I'm playing it on PC. I can wait because every single game that's at this point, developers are basically egging me on to wait for games. And unless it's a game that I'm super hyped for,
you're right.
Like every game that's come out has been broken, needs patches, needs everything. It's going to be a better experience 8 months later. Like it just is what it is. Like even like, and that's where I'm at right now. Like I'm almost like, even as like, I don't make that much content anymore, but I always wanted to play a game early on so I can give my advice on it or whatever my take on the game. But now it's like, why am I playing this if it's going to be a piece of shit and then it's broken? And then like, this is why the whole trend in gaming is so big. Like even big influencers saying, remember, don't pre-order. They're even saying that about Space Marine 2. They're like, I am so hyped. This is the first game.
I used to pre-order everything, and now it's like, nah. Same. Because you don't know if the game is actually going to be good anymore. That's not a given, right? You figure big game is going to be that's not the
now
case.
They're sending them to Disneyland, Hargeet.
Yeah.
And then it could be freaking broken, and you might as well like Cyberpunk. I waited like 2-3 years before I played that game because I'll wait till they patch the heck out of it. I'm not gonna even bother. I'm not even gonna bother until they patch the hell out of it.
That's what I did.
But I pre-ordered that stupidly, and that just sat there on a shelf, right? 2 questions though. First, we assume that the PS5 Pro is actually happening. I don't know. Most of the insiders said that it's 100% happening.
Yeah, come on.
Like Tom Henderson, I think, was one of them. I don't want to.
He's the only one, and that's fair. And by the way, that doesn't mean that it isn't already there. There is possibly we've seen a PS5 Pro. The question is does it make any fiscal sense for Sony to put out a PS5 Pro? That's a whole other discussion, and I don't know if it makes sense for them at all. But we'll see. Maybe they do put it out. Maybe they don't. We have a month away. We're a month away from their potential, announcement of it, and we'll find out if they even do it. Second question is, if you wait, right, then, let's say 2025 it comes up. 2026, tentatively, we have a new console generation for Xbox. Yeah. You could see a new edition for the next gen at the same time as the PC release. It'd be an interesting time to think about whether you want to buy it for the next gen.
Xbox. And here's the other thing here's what Meek B2G in the chat brought up, and he's right about this one too. Are we going to have another unstable frame rate situation with GTA on the PS5 Pro? Because if a lot of these 60 frames games that we're getting, and I'm going to say that in quotes, 60 frames on consoles, they're not hitting those targets more than half the time. You can definitely feel a lot of these dips and stuff, and especially if you don't have a VRR television, you seriously feel those dips and probably get some screen tearing in some of these games and stuff. That's a situation too that we're not really putting out there. D is the fact that will it be able to actually get a smooth 60 frames or even a smooth 40 frames or
I have
whatever.
No shadow of a doubt the games that are like hovering at like 50, 48 to like 51, 52. Those games, I'm pretty sure they're going to be smoothed off at 60 FPS because of the headroom that they have on the GPU. Now, if they're severely CPU bound, you're going to need something like DLSS. You're going to need something like FrameGen to get it up. And it only can do so much as well, right? Even if you're CPU bound. So I think the games that are teetering at a close 60 will be stable for sure. The games that are unlocked at like say 40 should be a lot smoother, closer to 60, just based on the information that we have so far. And to say, Hargeet was saying, we don't know if this is real. I can't remember what game it is, but they no.
I'm not saying it's real or not. You can make a whole thing and then decide this just doesn't make sense and we're going to scrap it.
Hold up. I
think it's totally viable that they made it, but I don't know if they're going to put it out.
There was one developer, I forget the name.
Yo, D, hold up. I got to give a shout out because this gentleman is not going to be here. It's too late, I guess, for him. H2O in the chat, super chat, 99.99 says, I appreciate you so much, by the way. He says, love and respect to Kuya, Fonz. That means older brother, by the way, in Tagalog. He says, Geet the GOAT, Colt, and the entire panel. A damn shame all your live feeds run too late in the night, gentlemen. Gaz, the Tasmanian devil, should be here. Yeah, we invited him, but it's too late for him as well. He says, from Dubai with love. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You're awesome. He's been here quite many times. H2O is a great
thanks, man.
Patron. He's awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. You were saying, D.
Oh yeah, I was saying I believe it's No Man's Sky, they mined the data in there and they saw Trinity code in there for like graphics and settings and stuff. So
yeah, and it barely did any upgrades, right? It was
I don't like, you know, you ask a question if it makes financial sense, and I gotta be honest here, with the 10% CPU increase, you know, it's questionable, to be honest. But let's just see what this system can develop, deliver.
What do you think they would sell it at?
Yeah,
more than the PS5.
How much?
Yeah,
substantially more. But how much more?
I would say 150. I would say about $150 more than the PlayStation 5. At that time, we would see the PlayStation 5 get a price drop as well.
Probably. I think it's going to be $600 US. That'll be the price, and they think there's only one model. It'll be a diskless with modular receiver. What's that?
What?
How much do you think it costs them to make it?
Boom on it? I don't know.
How much of a loss are they taking?
I think it's a lot less than the PS5 because they already iterated on the PS5 and made it easier. So it's just going to be off the same kind of tech. They're just going to use that stuff that they used for the past couple of years of making it cheaper, like they did with the PS5. If you look at it when people took it apart, it's way different looking. They're just going to use that same tech within the electrical engineering and mechanical engineering to kind of just make it what it is. And so it's going to be a little cheaper, but I have
to pay for the higher amount of CPU.
Oh no! I think
we do have. I think
it's going to be cheaper for them.
Going on.
I think it's going to be cheaper for them and then higher for customers. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to make a profit on it?
Yes.
I think they're going to either sell it at just
making a profit right now.
They always maximize to make a profit on their consoles. Sony always tries to make a profit on their consoles. Always. So we're looking at probably
with the whole loss leader thing, right? So
I can see it being upwards of
PS5 started in a loss.
I can see it being $699, dude.
So I think
$699 down.
I think there was rumors, if you remember, that they had those bad yields. Then in the heat thing, I think that's why they were selling at a loss. Is because that stuff was costing them money more than they thought. If that didn't happen, I think they would have been fine. But since they again iterated on it and worked on it and made it better that it doesn't have that yield, that's why they got to the profit margin now. And I think with the PS5 Pro, they're going to be able to get a little bit more power, like 10%. Yeah, that sounds great. It's a good number, but I don't see 10% pushing shit up to 50, 60 stable frames or shit getting better. I agree with Hargeet. I don't think this is like smart financial sense. Your PS5s are already
they're going to push. How they're going to do it is they're going to push the price. I'm telling you, it's going to be very expensive because they know that there's only going to be like a 10 to 14% of their user base buying this machine.
Oh, I don't think it's that high. I don't
even know if it's that high. But
5%.
I'm saying
I would say less than 5.
At best, you're looking at about 10%.
It's a tough sell.
I'm not buying. I don't give a shit.
Dee's the only one who wants it.
Yeah, even now, I played Ragnarok. I've played Spider-Man 2. I've beat them on the PS5. Ragnarok coming to PC, I kind of want to punch myself in the face. And the person that was telling me not to buy it was Hargeet. He was like, dude, just wait.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And I was like, I got to because it's right here.
It's coming this fall, right? It's actually one of my fall games. I'm going to be playing
right here. This fall. Look right here. That's God of War. God of War is one of my favorite franchises next to Gears of War and StarCraft. So I played the hell out of it. And now it's coming out on PC. And I'm like, damn, I wish I played that at everything. Max settings and just got into it. And, I'm an idiot. I should have just waited. But here I am.
Colt, are you back there chewing on your toenails? What are you doing, Colt? No, I'm just kidding.
What do you want me to say?
No, I was just pulling a dealer. By the way, somebody was somebody came in and he was like, "Oh, you can't have an RDX without dealer." No, it's kind of just a mini reunion. It's not RDX. This is Games Talk Live, but with the RDX panel minus dealer.
And Tim.
I wish
Fonz,
dealer could be here.
if you did want to trade your PS5 in, you'd get $350 for it.
Oh man, that makes it kind of different.
That's not bad.
Is that credit or is that cash?
That is
it's 350 Forte credits.
It's Forte credits.
It's store credit.
Credit. Yeah. I don't know if I want store credit from
game you could just go there and buy digital games, man.
What I would end up doing is you could just buy Xbox Cash, right? And then just use it because you can buy your Microsoft games from there for either console or PC, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
you can just do that.
Can I ask somebody? Max Mini put it out there. Is the PlayStation Portal going to outsell the Series consoles?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
How much is it sold?
It is sold out. Like it is sold.
Yeah, but we don't know the numbers. I don't think.
I don't know the number. Okay, so
10 of them, right? But how much?
I thought it was
Is it a million.
I don't
2
know.
million?
I would say it's. I don't know how many. I have about like 4 coworkers that own one, and I thought they had like a Steam Deck or like a Rogue Ally, but it was the Portal. I was like, that is such a dumb purchase. And then I started like watching them play. I was like, this is fucking nice. Like this is actually it's very well.
Dee Batch has one.
Simple.
Dee
Batch, do you like it?
I love it, man. It's awesome. I sit in the bed with it. You know, when I'm on the road or I'm in the office, I
sit in the
play
bed
it.
with it, huh?
As long as you have good internet connection, it works well. If you don't have the best internet connection, then it can be a little bit spotty. Yes, for sure. But I don't have that, so that's not an experience for me. So
they also count that, by the way, as a console, right? So as far as Sony's console sales numbers,
they count it as a console, not a PS5. So I don't know where their number is on that.
But they count it as part of theirs. So if you get like the numbers from NPD, they're more accurate because they're not counting that.
All right. Let me read off these super chats. By the way, there's been a few sitting here. That blue number with a 5 says my $3 wins. Oh. She put in an extra 3 here to win the Batman argument. It's not red. And a happy birthday to Fonz. Yeah, it was my birthday 2 days ago. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. It was,
Just so everybody knows, for the PlayStation Portal, Sony has come out publicly and said that it has far exceeded their expectations to the point where they had low units that they didn't expect it to sell well, and it flew off, and they couldn't make enough, where it just kept selling. And I've seen that where I even looked at to see how much it was, and it was sold out on multiple storefronts. So that thing is selling like hotcakes. And for me to have
so maybe they sold like 4 or 5 million of them, right? And that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is actually pretty cool. That's but for a handheld, I'm like, okay. I thought it was so dumb when they announced it. I made fun of it and everything. And then I saw it and I was like,
same here. I thought it'd be stupid, but hey, if
you know what?
So they had one win because the other one was a flop. The PSVR 2. That was it.
Yeah. But I'll say this: it's getting a little bit of a resurgence with the adapter being available. Actually, came out today. The adapter.
It's not.
Some PC guys. I'm not saying it's gonna fly off the shelves, but I'm saying that PC guys are.
You know what's funny? I literally seen PC guy videos talking about having buyer's remorse with that, and they were actually playing some of the games, and they tried to play Call of the Mountain and stuff like that, and they were just like, "This is ridiculous!" Like,
see, this is the problem. Okay, this is where Sony pisses me off, man.
Oh shit!
Make the controllers compatible with the PC. Like they gimp the controllers, they gimp the headset. You don't have any type of eye tracking. I don't think you have the HDR ability as well. I don't think you have I'm not sure if you have the full haptics. There's something missing from the controllers. The way that you pair it with Bluetooth, apparently you need to buy a certain dongle to get that perfect Bluetooth match, or have a really good Bluetooth connectivity on your motherboard. So there's a lot of things that hinder them. Why would you not make it fully functional? Of course, you're allowing it with Steam and all these other places, but also have a game store with your PlayStation games.
I'll tell you why. Because
can buy it because it's not selling on the PlayStation 5. So
here's the reason. Because Apple, they are a very closed company when it comes to their consoles and everything. It's all proprietary shit when it comes to their stuff.
The end users, man.
They want you to stay within their ecosystem, and they really don't want you on PC, honestly.
But it's not selling.
I thought the better answer would be like Xbox, they don't know what to do with PC. That's the problem. Ooh. Because Xbox certainly doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to PC gaming and doing their stuff for PC, and Sony doesn't either. So they're both kind of we don't know what to do, and that's why their stuff on PC has has different issues and problems. The ports for PlayStation have been pretty good.
Yeah, why? Okay, so that's something I want to bring up, and maybe you can enlighten me, D, because it's weird, and I've seen some Reddit posts talk about this too. There are differences in the same PC games between Game Pass PC games and Steam PC games. Because I was playing Flintlock, and I have these little micro stutters that happen every so often. And I had people tell me out there, some Xbox guys playing on PC, I don't get those. They're there. Trust me, they're there. Even for you. You probably just don't notice them. I'm very susceptible. I can notice these small little things that happen in my games, and it annoys me, especially after playing for about 6 months on a 4090 and seeing 120 plus frames, very smooth gameplay. And then I'm playing a game like Flintlock, and I see these little stutters are happening, and I look it up, and sure enough, people on these forums and stuff are saying Game Pass version is just not as good, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know why, and it absolutely makes zero sense. Like, you run the operating system, you supply the operating system for every PC that plays these games. So how could you mess these little things up? And it's just little differences in the code, little differences in their files and the way that.
And I know they are behind too in patches. By the way, the Game Pass versions, they're always behind because they have to jump through hoops with Microsoft
certifications.
Yeah.
And like,
by the way,
API. And then you try to find some of your games in the Microsoft store, like the files. If you gotta do modding, you gotta
you can't script mod. You can't script mod. You can't.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They
I was
don't
just
allow
saying
you to
that
do
when
that.
you start talking to you, you're kind of fading in and out.
Stay on the
I
microphone.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I think he's
Say
moving around.
Stop being a little punk ass. Get up there. Come on.
Shit.
Ooh.
No, it's just something that I noticed, and it was very apparent with Flintlock. And I indeed bought the Steam version to see if it was there, and it wasn't there, but it was very, very rare. It was more apparent. So you could tell maybe they're a patch ahead or a couple of patches ahead or something on Steam, but it was still there. So like I just put the game down and I'm playing Red Dead now because it's smooth as butter on the PC.
I'll say this though, as like probably the oldest school PC head in here. The original Microsoft games, oh my gosh, they were a disaster on PC.
Really?
And oh my god, they used to run
Windows Live.
So they used to run. Oh man,
it was horrible. I mean, even now they're bad. The Xbox, the PC Game Pass app is not great. I'm sure you guys have lots of complaints about that. And then you have the Xbox game Windows bar that opens up like somebody barfed on my screen. I can't even do a simple thing like get into an Xbox Live party chat on PC or go to anything else. It's like everything's all screwed up. You can't get to anything. I don't even know why I don't know. Xbox just does not know how to integrate with PC. You don't even get the same achievement experience on the games you play on PC Game Pass.
The dinky little achievements that just pop up.
It's a little box.
They need to revamp both the Xbox.
They do.
And the PC. Just revamp it.
Yeah.
We can hate all we want on Sony, but their interface is pretty clean. It's minimalistic and it's clean, and and they've made it universal now, even on PC. It's
all right, we can stop praising. Okay, we can stop praising. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's enough.
You're
That's
right.
enough. Oh my God, we're losing viewers. Stop. Okay, stop.
I want to give a shout out to Crippling Debt. Great name, by the way, Crippling Debt.
Fucking perfect name.
And he writes, "Sorry, it's all I can afford." Hey, with Crippling Debt, I totally get it, and I appreciate you, my friend, for the $2. Crippling Debt.
What a great name, bro. That's the greatest chat I've seen.
Yeah, I love that super chat. Red Wolf, again with a 2, thank you very much, says, Zocker loves The Last Jedi and Acolyte. He DM'd me.
Red Wolf, you're a bitch.
Damn. Face 23 BKNY, again with a 1999 super chat. Appreciate you, Face. He says, at Colt Eastwood, people are not going to switch to play multiplats on PlayStation, but hardcore Xbox switch to PC. Some will switch to a different platform.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, It's a pretty big difference jumping from an Xbox to a PC that offers you millions of games. He agreed with me. They're not going to switch to a PS5 Pro. They're not going to drop their. It's like it was funny. Like we were.
Yeah, they're not.
I was talking to Tim the other day, Tim Dog, and the whole joke was, bro went from waiting for games to waiting for games.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, it's just a big difference. That's why if you can, like, if you're not crippling debt, if you have a couple of bucks and you can have a second platform, even if it's a PlayStation, Xbox, or a PC and a PlayStation or whatever, like, you'll probably be okay if you're a real hardcore guy that wants to play everything.
Well, you're also missing the point, Brooklyn, that when they go to PC, one, Game Pass is cheaper now.
Yeah, it is.
Has been. You get free multiplayer, and you get more options, and your library of Game Pass games just follows you, and so do all your achievements, and so does everything else, and so does your friends, because you can play with them and connect everything. So it's not really like...
And you get the PlayStation games when they drop, which most of them are dropping on PC sooner than later, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right, Hargeet?
I'll say this.
Yeah, how I play my PlayStation games is on PC. So
I'll say this.
I just wait.
You guys are right. Historically, it hasn't moved the needle that much. And I guess what I want to really say is that Sony has an opportunity here with GTA, because it's such a phenomenon itself, right? The game in itself, where they have an opportunity to get gamers on their PlayStation 5 Pro. And if I'm in their position, I'm not wasting that opportunity. I'm giving people a reason to buy my PlayStation 5 Pro, and I'm offering them performance and graphics over the regular PlayStation 5 that's substantial, to say, hey, if you want something better, that's what I would do.
There's some people that are going to do that, but yeah, most PlayStation 5 owners aren't going to do that. And most people buying into a new console aren't going to go to the Pro. They're just going to buy the PS5.
Let me say this. Okay, we're just hypothetical. If the PlayStation 5 Pro runs GTA at 60 FPS, do you think that would be a needle mover for the game?
Do I think it'd be
I think that'll be a needle mover?
Yeah, for the game.
People don't care.
No, I don't think people care.
People don't care about 60 FPS.
Because you're missing out on literally Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Roblox. Like, it's not moving the needle on the top 5 played games on every platform. So they don't really, like, I get GTA's like in the top 10 always, and it always will be, but it's not going to move the needle for somebody to go spend $600 to $700 on a new console for one game. They're going to be like, I'm good. I got a PS5. It's going to run it decently at 30, which I'm used to because I'm a console gamer.
Buying GTA 5
and I already have a simple answer for you. PS4 is still the primary platform for GTA Online.
Yep.
PS4, not 5. Not even Series X or Series S. PS4. I'm just saying, they don't care. Not even PS4
They don't care about 60, do they, Hargeet? People don't care about 60 FPS.
No. I mean, we see it all the time in this community,
and then
right?
You wonder why our PC guys say console peasants.
Well, I mean, look, we see it all the time in this community where a game will be, shown and said it's going to be 30 frames, announced at 30, and then guys like us will get upset, but then we'll get hundreds, thousands of people coming at us telling us, oh, well, who cares anyway? If the game runs fine at 30, then who cares? And I'm like, well, I like the higher frame rates, There's just more gamers out there who are not invested into that side of things with the games. Graphics either. They don't care.
30 FPS, I just can't do it. I refuse to do it.
Yeah, that's you, bro, because you got a 4090. You're set. You don't got to worry about it. So talking about the console's frame rates for you is
but even on console, I wouldn't want to play 30 FPS. Like, I would be busting out my Samsung TV, putting that game interpolation mode on. I'd be doing everything I could just to get that smoother gameplay, man. 30, I'm sorry. I know you guys are going to hate me, but 30 FPS is trash in 2024.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Exactly what's happened to me with the 4090.
Trash before that.
But that's not to say that I can't play GTA 6 at 30. If it's only at 30 for me, on the console, I'm going to play it there first because I love Rockstar games that much that I can't wait a year to play it on the PC. I'm going to play it at 30 if that's what it is. I don't have a problem with that. You know, it sucks.
So, Fonz,
but-
I'm just curious, do we have any actual topics? All we've talked about is freaking PS5 Pro and GTA.
We've gone through everything, bro.
Here's the thing. We haven't been together for so long.
Yeah,
so
it's like we're just chatting.
Yeah, so
we're just having a good chat. We've gone from this to Hargeet saying Star Wars is trash and a dead franchise, to everybody loving it, and then all this other stuff.
Hold on. Mr. Ms. TikTok. Missy TikTok. So didn't Tim Dog just clown Colt on Twitter a month ago? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're actually real friends. I don't take console war or little beef bits on Twitter like seriously with a true actual friend. We were on the phone the moment that happened, because when he wrote to me, they said, "Hey bro, I love you." You know, we were all just joking around. He's like, yeah, I know. I should have known. Like, everyone's been riding my rear end for months on end. I go, yeah, man, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about you. Yeah, because like, these people are our true friends. Yeah. And even Dee Batch and I, we bickered back and forth about this topic right here on Twitter. And we're still friends because, hey, that's real stuff, man.
That's not right. That's not actually. Colt just lied to you. They fought in a parking lot. I have it on video. I saw the whole thing. It was a fist fight. And I got to say,
it was in the parking lot at a Waffle House.
It was a parking lot at a Best Buy. And he goes,
"Oh yeah, I was at a Best Buy." He was stalking people.
This guy's loving it right now.
He saw it at the Best Buy, and he's like, "PS5's on lock this month."
Yeah, as I said at the beginning of the show, if you didn't hear, by the way, I invited Tim. I invited Tim to the show because I wanted him to be here. He's an OG panel member of RDX. I know he's no longer, a part of the Xbox community per se, but I don't care. He's still a friend. And honestly, at the end of the day, he could still talk gaming along with the rest of us. It doesn't matter.
You guys have friends that have a different sports team, like their favorite team is your rival? Like, do you stop being friends with them? Like, come on.
Literally, I'm not joking. Anybody knows this? One of my best friends in the world is a Seahawk fan, and I'm a Niner fan. And every year we talk so much fucking shit to each other. I mean, bad, like just really bad. But at the end of the day, we still play games like every week together, still talk all the time. And it's like, we're like brothers. And it just, but when it comes to that, people are like, "Are you guys friends?" I'm like, yeah. But we just, just want to murder each other like 2 weeks out of the year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's guys,
I actually do have a topic here brought up by Dee.
Really?
By the way.
Holy shit, a topic? We're organized?
Yeah. So apparently, Sony president Hiroki Totoki gave some details on restructuring of Bungie. The purpose is to restructure and portfolio optimization, he says. We have to enhance efficiency of the business. So basically, he's saying Bungie hasn't been doing shiz in terms of the business side of things. They need to make more money than they are making. Bungie back office functions will now be integrated into SIE. Bungie headcount and resources will be concentrated into Destiny 2 and Marathon, which means they're still going to have heads down working on those two games, and they're going to shut the F up, and they're going to listen to us. That's what they're saying. Other title development at Bungie will be transferred to PlayStation Studios. Optimize overall studio structure. Basically saying anything else they were working on, we're taking that shit over.
Yep.
Shout out to
remember when everyone was saying, "Oh, Bungie gets to be independent. Oh, they're gonna be able to do whatever they want. They're not owned by Sony." Da 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 da. They lied.
In the end, I have to say this though: Sony killed Bungie. Just like I said
100%.
3 years ago, that's what was going to happen.
What?
Yeah,
people got mad at me when I made the implication that Bungie was better under Xbox and Activision. They were their most successful. They're like, it's not Sony's fault that they're in this situation. I mean, clearly, it's Bungie's fault that they're in this situation right now. But can you really say?
I don't
Sony
care. Did Redfall
Bungie?
come out and did Phil take the fucking sword for that? Yes.
Oh, he did, and I did too.
And at this point, sorry, if Bungie failed, it's Totoki's fault. Fuck all y'all. It's their fault. They didn't manage their studio. It's their fault.
They didn't manage their studio, guys.
But they're
can I say, hold on, time out. I gotta give a shout out to Gaming Forte years ago when we were on RDX when they bought them. He was like, Sony doesn't own Bungie. Nobody does. You know that. They're gonna. Yeah, they own fucking Bungie, bro. Look at this shit.
Bungie's
It's done. Curtains, boys. It's all just close it up.
So we
You
heard
see
about
Gaz's
this
meme with Herman Holtz. I'm the captain now.
So
Yeah, dude.
it was well over a year ago, like a year and a half ago, maybe even almost 2 years ago. They put out that thing where they signed a clause that said if they didn't make a certain amount, that basically there would be a hostile takeover, and that's happening. That happened. It's done. Bungie is gone. The Bungie we know, they're done. They're done. And I don't know if Marathon's going to be a great game or not or anything, but even if it is, what does that do for Bungie? Hargeet, what does it do for them? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and I assume they continue with the multi-plat thing, probably, but it doesn't matter. Marathon isn't looking good anyway, so we'll see where that goes. The one freaking other game that they green-lit was Concord, which is ex-Bungie devs, and that's not looking that good either. So Bungie's done. They just let go of the people that were writing the story for freaking Destiny. That it's done. What are they gonna do now? I don't know, man. Like,
I think what
good.
happened wasn't it like they needed to meet certain financial key points
They did.
in order to
And they
keep
hit
their
half of
independence, and they didn't reach it like nearly
Nope.
at all. So Sony was given the right
They
through that
missed
contract of
49%.
acquisition, yeah, to like do what they needed to do. And listen, Bungie had talent. Like they created like a lot of people that used to work there created Halo, created Destiny, games that defined a generation.
That they're dead, but
yeah, but now it's like they fuck themselves up. This is management. This is scope group. This is all the stuff that you talk about, like when you're creating a product that you're not supposed to be doing. And like, to me, I don't know. Like everybody, the funny thing is that when they broke away from Activision, everybody's like, Activision's the bad guy. It's like, yo, were they though? And then it's like, at some point, like they had an ugly breakup with Microsoft and Xbox. They have an ugly breakup with Activision, and now they're sitting here just getting freaking roasted by Sony. So it's like, at some point, it's you.
And the reason why I was bringing up the fact that, asking Hargeet, well, what is it going to do for them even if Marathon hits? It does nothing for them. Even if they get a resurgence into Destiny 2, they're not going to be allowed their independence back. They're done.
I don't see them getting
a resurgence. No, they won't. They won't.
Yeah.
Destiny is basically going to die now. So all those big fans of Destiny 2, you're done. Like it's unfortunately it's gone. It's going away.
This is the team that greenlit Concord but canceled factions. Let's go. That's how that's how you make good decisions here, boys.
But it's not only that, Zucker. They canceled the Marvel Spider-Man Multiverses multiplayer game. They canceled Twisted Metal. They canceled what we expect to be SOCOM, but I don't know. It was like a military shooter. So I don't know. They canceled all of those, but they kept Concord.
I think also
Which
there's
is ex-Bungie devs.
So-
I'll just point that out. It's ex-Bungie devs.
So I would say this. I would say that there is a little bit of nuance in it too. I would say that when they were doing this, Sony's focus under Jim Ryan was games as a service, and now that he's gone, I think they realize like this was a bad idea, and I think they're kind of course.
I think at this point we can pretty safely say he was fired.
Yeah, he was fired, and I think they realized it was a bad idea, and they moved in a different direction. And I think Bungie
billion.
Yeah, and so Bungie just like, okay, we're in a weird, awkward place now where it's like the thing that you wanted us to focus on and help isn't the highlight that you have within the company itself. Things change from the top of management. Priorities change. And if you don't align with those priorities, you're not going to have a job. And just so everybody knows, people right now in the industry are being laid off at like in the tech world like crazy. And people are not going to quit their jobs at Bungie. They're not going to go nowhere because there's nowhere to go. Like jobs in general are just really bad.
By the way,
the
Zocker,
job
Danny
market.
Passion with the $2 asks, who's better now, 343 or Bungie? Well, it's obvious.
I mean, I just see two shit sandwiches hanging out, bud. That's what I see.
I'm saying,
343
but
is better.
343 is in better shape right now.
343 has put out better, high quality, high rated games than Bungie has since they left Xbox. People don't like to. They don't see that. Though,
like, okay, like listen, I don't care about rated. We know Destiny defined a generation, and I am a firm firm advocate that Destiny literally won PlayStation the console war in the beginning because it was almost like
it was one Destiny of the first games that really catapulted sales for PS4 because a lot of people thought Destiny was exclusive.
Yeah,
to PlayStation 4.
They thought Destiny was exclusive because they had their own strikes, their own stuff,
and then they had their own stuff.
Consoles on it. Like to me, it was a huge. It was a huge marketing ploy.
The majority of the players were on Xbox.
Were they?
Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I played on the PlayStation
having some dominance with Destiny.
More players.
I just remember there were psychopaths that played Destiny for thousands of hours, and I'm like, doing what? I was done after 80.
I played thousands of hours.
I played like 100 hours, and I was like, I'm good. I'm moving.
It's crazy, right?
Done. There were a subset of like psycho. I'm being kind of rude on purpose. But there was a subset of people who were addicted to Destiny, and they were playing strikes and the big,
because it was fun.
And we were moving on to new games, and they were still playing Destiny.
I was one of those guys you were talking about, Colt.
I know you were. Yeah, you were one of them. And one of my really good friends, before I met you, he was like, he wouldn't stop. He's like, I was like, how many hours do you have? He's like, well over 1,000. I'm like, how? At 80, I was so done. I was ready to barf. But people were still hooked, and there's all this content coming in. But so I don't remember that Destiny community being in the millions.
Like, dude, Destiny has.
Oh, it's like definitely in the millions.
It's definitely in the millions, bro. Dude, it is in the high millions.
The first one
sold well over 50, if I remember right. 50 million.
It sold like well over 50 million units. Like what I'm trying to say is like even now, while Destiny's in like big. Even though Destiny's in like a shithole right now, they still have like 100,000 active users. Like they're still like it's well played. People still play it.
It's a pretty big game, man.
Like Halo has like how many people play that every like active users? Like be real. Like I think on Steam it's like 3,000. Like, I'm just saying, man. Like, and I get it's majority Xbox or whatever, but comparatively, it doesn't compare. Like, I think Bungie is better than 343.
Yeah,
the problem is it's gonna fall off because there's no new stuff.
Oh,
like,
no,
it's gonna die. It's gonna die, and that's what sucks. Because honestly, I'll say this: I haven't played Destiny 2 in 2 years, and I stopped because I wanted to experience other games and stuff, and that game was a very big time sink. And plus, if you're not playing with friends and stuff or keeping up with them, it's kind of hard to do when you only play once every couple of months or something. So I put it down, but I will say, I've gone back to it and tried to play it here and there, and every time I do, the one thing I come away with is, wow, they have incredible gunplay in Destiny, and that's sad that they're gone. We're not going to get that gunplay anymore with all the various guns and stuff, and it was
Destiny 1. Destiny 1, apparently, I'm looking at it, sold 50 million units.
Yeah.
That's Destiny 1. That's not even Destiny 2. Like that's what I'm saying here, I think. So like Destiny 1 was massively successful, and so was Destiny 2. It's huge, dude.
Oh man, that thing is massively huge.
There it is.
Colt Eastwood.
Anyway, so yeah, I think Bungie. I still think Sony overpaid 3.5 billion, whatever it was. I think they massively overpaid for that thing, and now they're just sitting here and they're gonna do whatever they can with the people that they have and put them wherever they gotta go. And I don't know what's gonna happen in Destiny 2. I don't know what's gonna happen in Marathon, but I guarantee you they don't trust Bungie as much, and they're gonna be under a strict microscope.
They took their other projects away from them, and they're keeping it in house, and they're telling Bungie just continue work on Destiny.
But can I also say that Sony hasn't made the best decisions when it comes
they
to
haven't.
studios. Like Sony Bend, like Days Gone on PC is fucking
phenomenal.
Amazing. It's phenomenal, and that studio deserves its own game or even a sequel.
But Insomniac was a good decision.
That was a good game either way.
Insomniac was a good decision. Insomniac is like the GOAT next to Sony Santa Monica.
I don't know, but like at the end of the day,
who decided for Ben? Who was it who made that decision?
I think PlayStation did.
No. I think he's saying who. I don't think it was Sean Layden. I think it was Jim Ryan. Because Sean Layden actually praised him on social media a few years ago. He's like, I remember the innovation of the Horde. I remember the innovation of this. He's like, I was so excited when I first saw it.
Yeah, I mean, the Jim Ryan era just.
Herman Holst hated Days Gone. Herman Holst hated Days Gone. So when he got into positions of power, I'm sure he had something to do with that. He was like, get rid of this team.
Herman Holst can do whatever he wants because he made Guerrilla Games into one of the biggest studios in Sony and one of the biggest studios in gaming, where they bring out like amazing software. I don't care about the game is like, no matter what you think, Horizon Zero Dawn was a big success. Horizon Forbidden West, I don't think it was as big, but the software behind it and the stuff that they've made within that studio, software-wise, is insane.
Crazy.
It's beautiful. Insane. It's a beautiful, boring game. It's gorgeous, gorgeously boring though.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But it's amazing looking. Yeah. What else is going on this week, Colt? What else we got?
Yeah, we covered enough PlayStation stuff to make people sick. What else happened?
Let's talk about
Jez Gordon said that there's going to be a handheld Xbox.
That's right.
Yes, let's do that one.
Let's go, because this is the future of Xbox.
Come on, boys, get them topics out of your ass. Come on.
So the handheld, along with a console, standalone console, coming next gen, according to Jez Gordon of Windows Central. As of this week, last week he was kind of on the whole PC hybrid console coming to a theater near you, but now it's just a regular console and a handheld. I don't know what to make of this. Does he know, or is he just spitballing here?
He said that this is just his speculation. It's not based on any source. I read that from just before the show went up. So I was wondering if he'd heard something different, because some of the other stuff, and why I reported on the video was that the video I made was that Steam was coming to Xbox, and Steam can't just come to Xbox unless they make some changes next generation. So my best guess is there's no way that Xbox can make a conventional console moving forward and expect not for it to utterly flop, even worse than the Series and Xbox One have, because looking forward into the late 2020s, a conventional Xbox just does not really have a viable market. And it's being proven right now. And if they can make a console that is also has Windows underneath it, where you can have all of your storefronts, and I haven't talked to Dee about this, but if it could come pre-installed with GOG, Steam, Epic, Ubisoft Connect, and EA, all those games would be available to purchase and be able to play on the console, and it would just auto-detect the hardware, just like the Steam Deck and the other handhelds do. And I think that's the only way an Xbox in the future can even survive right now, because the Xbox that's so limited in the way it is not making it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean it's not making it? It's selling what it needs to. Why do we think it's dying? I just don't understand that.
It's not dying, but the Xbox One is the console where everyone said, do not buy this console, it sucks. And it sold, 50, 60 million? The Xbox Series console is actually really desired, at least it was the first 2 years. And now it's underselling the Xbox One. And so Xbox as a console manufacturer is going to diminish over time.
Right?
No, the PlayStation 5 is 8. The PlayStation 5 is 8% ahead of PS4 currently.
Yeah, and it's at 55, 60-ish million, right? And they're at 30 million.
They just reported 61 million.
Well, again, remember, that includes Portal and PSVR, because that's what they do with their numbers. They're fudging their numbers to add the Portal and the PSVR to their console sales. So that number's not real. It's probably 56, 57.
Wait, are you sure they're not saying 61 million PS5s?
What was that?
Are you sure they're not saying in the report 61 million PS5s? Are they saying 61 million consoles? Because that would include PS4 and Portal.
Yeah, I doubt they're selling any PS4s. I think they've stopped selling the PS4s, but they are including the Portal and the PSVR. PSVR barely sold anyway, but Portal, I guess, is selling millions, I guess. But either way.
So far,
it's still 2 to 1. It's still the same 2 to 1. What's
PlayStation 5 is the best-selling console worldwide, and it has now sold, this is PlayStation 5, 56.89 million units lifetime. But this is as of May, though. This is May.
That was I'm looking at the same one. That's from a few months ago.
Yeah.
And the quarterly numbers, they sold like 2 point something, and you add it up, and it's the 61 million.
That's a lot of
2
units.
point on 57 is not 61.
No, it's
so okay. I'm saying whatever. It's like look at the number from the quarterly.
Like 58, 59, right? So it's in that 2 to 1 range.
Max
Same
Mini says
range
it's
it was in the Xbox One,
61
PS4.
million PS5s, and he says it's PS5s directly, and that's what I'm seeing on this report here, that it's PS5 directly, that 59.9 million have sold, and then 61 million have shipped.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
The 59. All right, whatever. It's the same numbers. Same 2 to 1. 30 to 60. It's the same 2 to 1. Nothing has changed.
That's not good.
The entire market is softened.
Like that's not
the
good.
major headache.
It's 2 to 1 because the rest of the world outside of North America does not buy Xbox.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
And they need to change that.
And Xbox doesn't try, and they just gave up trying.
They should.
They literally just gave up European marketing. They don't care about Europe at all.
Yeah.
I want to respond to what you said there about the
I want to hear it.
Next generation one. So I think that's a very viable option. It'd have to be a little bit more streamlined because console people, some of them are basic.
Yeah,
right?
it has to be preloaded. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't go into Windows and install Mac.
I forget the launcher. Hargeet actually sent me this launcher where you can launch all of your games. It's just one launcher, so they could do.
I need to do that.
Into their operating system, make it really streamlined, and then you can have an advanced mode then for like someone that wants to really go in and get the full experience. And having the access to those Steam games would mean that you'd have to have a pretty powerful system because you'd have to be able to run those games at least 60 FPS if you want PC guys to play your games, right?
Well, just imagine the Series X2 in 2027. It should be fine.
Yeah. And I think that would give them a little bit of an edge. And of course, their Game Pass games. I think that's a good option. They're gonna have to go a different route because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, right?
Yes.
A different result. So they got to do something different here. And having a powerful system that could utilize that would be great. And then the handheld that I'm sure in 2 years' time, like the Rogue Ally right now is amazing for me. So I can just imagine what they can squeeze into a handheld in 2 years' time. So they'd have something really comparable maybe to like a Series X right now in the handheld form.
Yep.
Potentially, right?
So it's a great, I don't know, it's a great idea.
I mean, so I know we're bringing up Game Pass, but I'm gonna be real. When they announced the price hike on that, I have multiple people that I just personally know because I've really paid attention that canceled it because they're like, I'm not paying $20 a month for this or like that. But then they were like, oh well, if it's $11 on PC, then I'll go there. That's great. But I don't know a lot of people that are going to want and if we're talking 2 to 3 years from now when these consoles drop, imagine what it's going to be in 2 to 3 years. Like because they're going to start putting more games, try to invest more money into it, and it's going to go up to about $25, $26 a month, like Netflix is doing. And I'm like, all right, now we're getting to the point where it's like I can just pick and choose what I want to play. Because that's not that, at least to me, the value wise, like I a lot of things change in life. I can't play everything I want to play all the time, so I got to pick and choose what I can play. So that's just me as a customer. But overall, I think that the only thing that can save them is going to be something like a handheld that they have. It's cheap to make. It runs games. It runs everything they can, and that's going to replace the Series S. Save them?
Again, I'm curious why we need to save.
I'm saying because I look at trends, right? This is a trend. If the Xbox One went down, the Series X went down, I think the next one's going to go down. Now, I think if they want to keep it stagnant where they sell about 20 to 25 million units, they need to do something a little bit different. Now, if they want to just sit there and sell 15 million units next generation or 20 and then sell 10 million less, I don't think that's going to be good metrics. And then I think the RD&A, I think the R&D and all those things, the R&D and all those things that require you to invest millions and millions and millions of dollars into it, they're going to start questioning that, especially if the Game Pass subscribers, because that's the core of it, right? They say it's like 50-50 now. Like it was more PC subscribers, but now they're saying that it's kind of evening off. You're going to lose money from not only the console side of Game Pass subscriptions, but you're going to lose money on your software on top of it. So I think they need to do a little bit something different. And that handheld could be something that like We just talked about it. People don't give a fuck about performance. If the handheld's programmed and done right, which is a tall order for Xbox apparently, if it's done right software wise, I think it could do really well. I think it could do better than the Series X from that perspective.
And outside the US, absolutely.
And also
outside the US especially. That's the big one.
Especially.
And also too, the kicker with the handheld, with the power that would be available in 2 years, you could have an HDMI out into the television, and you could play it at say like 1440p, whatever.
Did we lose D?
D, what'd you say?
Yeah, he kind of faded out.
You said we could play it at 1440p or whatever you connect it to.
No, I'm saying the good thing about a handheld is that they could engineer it that it has an output.
Yeah.
Plug it into your TV, use a remote, play it 1440p, 60, whatever. There's a lot of options, and I just think that they need to go a different route. And I think also, I don't know, maybe this is like a stretch, but seeing how it could be in the PC environment, then you get rid of that Xbox Live requirement. You charge $11.99 a month for it, for your Game Pass, because it's one ecosystem now, kind of. I don't know how you can like merge it like together.
Well, somebody's saying Zocker forgets that you need an Xbox to play Xbox. Bro, I was like the original PC guy on RDX, the original, like, next to Dee Batch, but like I was the first one to be like, I'm moving over here because it's just way easier. Now, I'm not saying that. I know we don't need an Xbox, and the sales have proven that, and people have proven that. I mean, you can see it, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if the rumors that were going on before the showcase happened, before everything, was that they were going to use third-party, kind of like the ROG Ally is going to be like a third-party thing that you just use software for, or kind of like this, like you could be a third-party manufacturer, make an Xbox, you can use your Xbox software, but then it's going to have all this other stuff. I can see Xbox going that route where they're not the ones investing in this.
I think that's the better route.
And to me, like that is a better route because that doesn't cost Xbox money. That's a business side.
However,
for me, I want Microsoft to compete in hardware. That's me. I want them to compete.
Okay, but why would a company take on that task in creating an Xbox that won't sell?
Because they'll have different things.
Because here's the problem. There's a stigma surrounding Xbox, and it's been there since the Xbox One generation, and it's a sneaky one in other countries. They don't like Xbox because they simply just don't have the games that they are interested in these other countries, or when it comes to multiplats, they'd rather just buy them on the PlayStation 5 because PlayStation 5 doesn't have that stigma. I don't think Xbox can break that stigma in these other countries. I don't think they can. Here in the US, Xbox sells fine. There's no big issues with the US. It's elsewhere. And I think to change that mindset that PS5 is the best in other countries and stuff, I don't see how they're going to do that. That's a tall freaking task. They'd have to come up with the most incredible gaming experiences, and several of them for several consecutive years before people start to even think that way. And I don't think they can. And there's got to be, with every company, if you're putting so much R&D into consoles and stuff, there's got to be a point in which there's got to be some sort of threshold where they're like, hey, we're not selling enough of these. Why are we even doing it? I mean, that is a point.
So what is that number?
We don't know that. I don't know that. But there's got to be a threshold for them, right? There has to be, before they just call it quits.
What do you think that number is, Hargeet?
I think it's sustainable already. I think they're already happy with what they have. That's why they're doing another generation. Otherwise, they would have scrapped it already. I think we overestimate that. Like, hey, they need to sell 500 billion consoles. They don't.
No,
they don't.
I'm not saying that, but they do need to sell a certain amount to keep them happy.
I guess what would be the number where you kind of go like, I don't think they're making another one. What would be that number to you?
5 million that's right now. People say that. People think that
I don't care about
under 30 million is not enough. But the problem is that Phil has already
30
said
million's a lot. Come on.
Yeah, Phil Spencer's already said like something to the effect of we already know we're going to get a certain amount of what I allude to him being, we've got a guaranteed 25 to 30 million consoles we're going to sell no matter what. So we have that, we have PC, we have cloud, we have Fire Stick, we have Samsung TV. It's just like people always act like Xbox's console, and I even say it sometimes too, that Xbox's console situation predicates everything that's going to happen and them going under, and they're going to fail. They're going to go full third party and they won't be able to do anything and it's over. But I really feel like the Xbox leadership looks at the console and says, hey, we'll sell about that many. And we're in other places. People are like, oh, they're losing money on Game Pass. Well, they're not, but Game Pass is not a vacuum. It's just one part of a vehicle of how they make money.
Exactly.
And here's what we're doing in Game Pass.
And Game Pass is on everything. And that's my point.
Here's what we're doing by selling our games and other people's games on console. This is making us money. We're making money on Game Pass. We're making a boatload of money making you pay for online, which is bullshit. This needs to be gotten rid of. That's one thing that Jez Corden said. He thinks going forward, next generation, they're finally going to remove the multiplayer paywall for console people. So people need to understand that Xbox just isn't as juggernaut as Nintendo or PlayStation, but they're moving in a way, like this brings up the whole WB thing too. Like if they wanted to, I don't want them to, they could buy WB and say, now we own these franchises. We're going to make a bunch of money off of those in the video game market.
Yeah.
I mean, so we got to understand though that like, oh, go ahead, Hargeet. My bad. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just gonna say, if instead of WB, and I see the rumors of it, but I think it's better to go after Take-Two or Valve. I think those are better options for them.
Those
what they want to do is make
that
bigger.
fuck alone.
Yeah, whatever.
Leave Steam
it
and
doesn't
Valve
matter. It's something that's likely to happen.
I don't know, but I just think, and somebody was talking in the chat saying we shouldn't act like we're wizards when it comes to this stuff, business and everything.
We're not.
No, I'm not trying to pretend that. I'm just spitballing ideas or thoughts that I have about, there's got to be a threshold there, and there is. There is a certain amount that if they weren't able to sell, they would quit it. Case in point, I'll bring up the fact that they no longer do mid-gen refreshes. Yeah. Why? Probably because it didn't
what do you mean
sell as well.
Refreshes?
Well, what I'm talking about,
like
no, like an upgrade, like the Xbox One X. They're not doing like an upgrade.
Thing.
I know, but they didn't do it again, probably because it didn't sell as much as
it probably lost.
Didn't make business sense. It probably didn't make business sense. So
yeah, exactly.
Get rid of it. That's what they're doing. So, and what I'm trying to tell you though is at some point, because Game Pass is everywhere. You don't have to own a console to play Game Pass or Xbox games. More and more people are leaving the platform. I'm seeing that even in this hardcore community. More and more are leaving the platform, which, it could be years and years from now. Who knows? 2 gens from now. But I can see at some point where the R&D, the build of these consoles makes no sense for them. They're like, what are we doing? Like,
the way I see it going is that Xbox is just software. It's just an OS, right? And it's really just Windows. And you just go to the same route that Windows does, and you just OEM that out, like you were saying, Zucker. Like it's just going to be, hey, Asus ROG Ally, Next, just runs Xbox OS. It's an OEM device. It has a spec. It has all the capabilities of Xbox. It boots and looks like Xbox.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
that's
it.
And
you've got
Steam
matter. And everything else. Yeah.
Right, and so exactly. You got all the stores. It's just it is what you have everything, and instead of it having the Windows interface, it's Xbox. That's it. And so you have multiple vendors out there selling it.
I would like to ask some of the hardcore Xbox fans in the chat, because I've seen some of you say you've been 20-year Xbox fans and such. I've been there since day one myself, but how many of you would like this sort of thing to happen where you don't get a dedicated, say, Xbox box, but you get multiple companies making boxes that have Steam and everything else on the box, not just Xbox.
Personally, I'm not really into that because
I can't hear you, Dee, at all.
Yeah, Dee, you're cutting in.
Can you hear me better now? What's going on, Mike? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I said personally, I'm not into that because we already got something like that. It's called a PC. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
I think
has
need
this
to
weird Windows interface, which becomes a pain, right? People want a simple, controller-based interface.
I think the person, the company, the console that wins is the one that gets the closest to PC, but not the price of PC. That gives you something that just ticks all the boxes. It can do ray tracing, it can do high frame rate, it has ultra or high graphics.
and it's affordable, and then you can play your Steam games on there, and then you can play your Xbox games on there. I think that's a winning formula, because the market is kind of going towards PC, but yet you still got guys that want to remain on console. So I think it strikes a good balance of in between, because the kids, listen, my 6-year-old kid, it's incredible how that kid plays with keyboard and mouse on PC at 6 years old. He doesn't want to play his Nintendo Switch anymore. He doesn't want to play anything else. He just wants to play freaking PC. And you have a whole generation of PC heads coming up. We're about to become the dinosaurs. So, I think that's the future. I think the future, what Hargeet said, I think that's the future. I think that's what's going to happen when we don't really have the traditional console. But I think the next generation, we're going to have a traditional console that's going to be really powerful. And,
I think they're going to start the marrying together with the next console. But then, the future is just, it's going to be PC. It's just going to be, they'll sell Windows Xbox edition. And OEMs can just make whatever they want.
You remember Alienware tried the whole PC console thing for a while. And they got rid of those boxes pretty quick. They didn't sell.
So did Steam.
Steam did too. Steam box.
And then the Steam box, but then the Steam Deck just absolutely fucking demolished everything.
Yeah, because they added in what's that emulation thing they use? Proton, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So Proton. Because they didn't have that in the other one, they're like, "Hey, game developers, make it for Linux." Like, that's not gonna work.
I just think that your average console group, your console gamer is a very different gamer than a PC gamer. So most console gamers, I would say, probably would rather just have a dedicated traditional console. That's what they want. I know I'm that way with my consoles. I'd keep PC stuff to PC. Like, why would I buy, especially now that I have a PC, why would I go out and buy a console that also does PC? I already have that. Like, I want to buy a traditional console for its tech that it has. I want to see what they're doing, what they're messing with, especially, when it comes to PlayStation. Mark Cerny does things with the tech and stuff that, squeezes a little bit out of the tech that we don't see or we don't quite understand. But I like that aspect of consoles. It's like, it's kind of the unknown. Like, what are they going to squeeze out of this?
Yeah,
I like that sort
I
of
agree, but I think it's going to be, I think the world in 8 years, God's willing, it's going to be a different place. And I think things are going to change. I think realistically it'd be something like what Hargeet said, but something where, like every 2-3 years, you have some new parts that you can upgrade within it,
Yeah.
There's a new OS coming, but this new OS, you need to get the new GPU to put in there to play these games or whatever.
I don't think most console gamers
in the
want
future.
that. Well, now they don't.
But they're gonna be phased out. Like, they're gonna.
But I used to think guys out there in the community now, 2 years ago, were never gonna get the mindset that 60 frames is better. Then they did, and they were like, "Oh my God, 60 frames is better." When they got whiff of that on console, and then when they got a 30 frames game, they went total backwards and backtracked, and 30's fine again. And I'm like, are they ever going to evolve? A lot of console gamers don't care.
They haven't. Some of them don't care because of ignorance. They just haven't experienced.
I don't think it's
that high
just
frame
ignorance.
rate, and
because
once you experience that high frame rate, you can't go back, man. You can't.
They do. They do all the time on console.
I think most of them are capping, because if they had a high end rig, they wouldn't be crying over it. They'd just be playing under a high end rig.
I don't know, but it's I don't know. It's crazy. Man, let me
How
get
much
to
is
these
the
super
Steam
chats
Deck
real quick.
sold? Is it doing well?
It's last year it was over like 3 million.
Oh,
That's because for the first 2 years you had to wait 6 months to get one.
Supply constraints. Okay.
Yeah, well, so not even just supply constraints. They didn't think it was going to be that big, and then all of a sudden they had pre-orders that they were like, "Oh shit!" Like it took mine. Okay. It took mine 4 months to get.
You're looking at $3.5 million lifetime so far.
What about the ROG?
For what, Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I have bought the Steam Deck
like
instead of the ROG Ally? Hargeet?
Do you like the ROG
What was
Ally?
that?
I spent a lot on the ROG Ally, and I'm like, did I make
It's
the
better,
right
right?
choice?
It's stronger.
It's out more powerful, but I hear the Steam Deck's easier to use. Yep, Doctor's got
It
one.
is,
I've
yeah.
got one. I don't know.
Yeah,
Steam
I
Deck is
just-
not without its
Windows part
problems,
kind of
though. My son had a few problems with the Steam Deck. And
My-
he
my
ended
ROG
up putting it. Yeah.
If you
My
know
ROG
how to do
Ally,
things,
the SD card, it died on it, so I actually modified it.
Wow.
I put a
that's a
adapter in
known
it.
that's a known problem that it overheats it. And then
Yeah,
it
man.
kills
So
your-
I put
kills
I
your-
put an adapter with a 4 terabyte SSD in there, and I put a mod case on it so it has better cooling on the back. Actually has a heat pad on the back with a heat sink. So it's
I like
rocking
it.
now, man.
For me, I like the performance that the ROG Ally gives you, but the controls on the Steam Deck are far superior. The controls on the
Yes.
Steam Deck, like holding it, just feels so good. And
Yeah.
when
They're
I got
better.
the Steam
They're better
Deck,
sticks.
when I got the Steam Deck, I went so geeky. I emulated the shit out of it. I got every single N64 game on there, maybe. I have and I've played them and I have
do that.
I have every emulation on there possible, and I played.
Is that
through the
possible
first-
on the Ally?
Yeah, it is.
To
It's
do-
just
Sure,
got to do
I'm
it on.
sure.
Yeah, just have to
I
do
should
it
at
through
least throw
Windows.
the NES stuff on there because those are. My issue with I'm not gonna pull it off the shelf, but the handhelds are so cool. But this is such a weird complaint, but having the controls out here instead of here like we're used to.
Yeah, it's weird.
When I'm doing like shooters and stuff, I don't feel as confident, and I don't like run into battle. This, you know what I mean, Fonz?
I
It's-
tried my son's Steam Deck. I feel the same way. Like it's foreign to me to have my. I don't like
It's
it.
such a little thing, but I feel a little less confident. And when I go to, I feel like my aiming isn't. I'm not ready.
I don't play shooting games on my small console.
Yeah.
Because of the screen. I don't play. I play like
Yeah.
Ghost of
Well, I was
Tsushima. I
playing,
play like games that
Descendants
require
and
like melee, and then like games like Brotato, stuff like that. That's what I play on there. And I
Were
play
you gonna say
Rotato,
Hargeet?
yeah.
the first God of War. Like I'm talking about the first one, the one back
Oh,
in the
that's
day, 20 years ago. I played that one, and I played the second one on the Steam Deck. It's freaking awesome on there.
Yeah, man.
What were you gonna say, Hargeet?
So, like, do you like the fact that you have choices like this? Would you like more innovation in that?
Oh
This
yeah.
is kind of the thing you get if you open it up, right? Then every year you'll get new things, right? So, like you're saying, Fonz, you want like what is the new thing that's going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
this is the
yeah.
innovation. It's how do you make it more compelling for the given user? Somebody might like the portal. Somebody might like that form factor. Somebody may hate that form factor and want something totally different. Or maybe the controller has to feel more like a controller and the screen has to be around it or something, like whatever, right?
Or above it,
Innovation.
yeah.
Or
Yeah, I'm
use
talking
glasses,
in
AR
terms of
glasses,
just.
something, you know, like-
I'm talking in terms of traditional consoles themselves, opposed to making it some sort of PC hybrid with different parts you can replace and stuff. Because that's when it gets to the point where it's like, well, that's not innovation. Because right behind me, I
I'm
have
not
something
saying
that does
that would
just
be an
that.
Xbox.
I know.
Because an
I'm
Xbox
just saying.
has specific security requirements, so it would have to be
Yeah.
an Xbox device. But
Yeah, but if it's like a quick
besides
module that you just kind of put in, I don't know.
Yeah, like a proprietary module. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but I think the console experience truly is simplicity, ease of use, ease
Yep.
of access.
Yes.
I think that's the number one thing. So as long as they
Exactly.
can fire that up, they don't have to wait for the fucking BIOS to load up, and you're not
Exactly.
Trust
you're not
me.
going in the
Trust
BIOS.
me,
and
brother. All
turning
these
up the-
guys that tell you PC's perfect, there's no issues. I laugh at them so hard because, man, some of these games just won't want to run, or you got to do something special to get it to run, depending on the makeup of your different parts and everything in your PC. Like, oh, it doesn't run well with a 149K and blah blah blah. And there's just so much. It's different than console. Console, you just play the game, turn it on, boom, it's on. If it's a well-optimized game, you got no problems. No problems.
That's a big if.
I'll say
That's
with
a big
PC,
if.
though, make sure that you get
Nowadays,
yourself
Zucker,
a
you're
good
right.
Ryzen.
Nowadays.
problem. Yeah.
I would
Red-
say with PC, make sure you get yourself a good Ryzen processor. Even if you have a 4090, you'll actually see an increase in performance with the Ryzen processor. So that helps.
But yeah,
What is Red Wolf talking about?
Red Wolf with the $5 super chat says Zocker was zocking before he was talking and walking, and then one day he said, "Zock it, I'm out of this zocking town," and he zocked all over me. What the fuck was that?
I want to watch a podcast where Zocker replaces the F word with Zock. Like that was a Zokin good game.
Yeah.
Zoka is a toddler.
Oh my goodness.
For all time's
Zulk
sake.
you, Colt. Zulk you.
Oh man. Mike with the super chat.
That was good,
He
right?
just said I
$5
zulked
says,
all. Wait, hold on. He
stop.
just said I zulked all over.
This
him.
is the super chat I was referring to earlier. Stop pretending to be business wizards. 40 to 50 million is still worthwhile. Yeah, nobody's saying it isn't. You sold 13. Where's Nintendo now?
40.
I'm just saying there's
Xbox
got to be
isn't
a
even
point
at
where
40. I mean, it's debatable if they're even at 30. I think they're at 30, but some people are saying the last report was somewhere around 28, which is
It's
either something you get from
27.7.
the AB. Yeah, if you get from the ABK trials where they had to disclose sales figures. Last year they're at like 27 million or something. I mean, I don't know.
And King Leighton, by the
other
way.
problem is they're losing $50 to $100 per unit. Phil said they were losing $100 a unit on the Series X.
They're not. Are they still losing money on it?
Oh yeah.
They haven't modified it, so it's probably still expensive.
The refresh is coming this fall, right? But even with that, I think they're still going to be losing money. Parts have just become more expensive.
Yeah.
It's just the way
Hell
it is.
yeah,
That's why
Xbox,
how
let's
much
go.
the PS5 is more expensive now, right?
Well, in
How
theory,
is
they're
Sony making
supposed to
money
get
and
cheaper
Xbox
parts
is-
in these mid-gens.
You assume they are. I think
Yeah.
once inflation hit, I think they weren't. I don't think they're making money. What they went from $400 for the PS5 digital to $450.
That's
That's
why,
what they
so
did.
they could still make money. They made it more
I don't know.
expensive.
Can I
They're
also
making money.
say, like,
Yeah, they
not
are.
even
They are.
Not even the sales or anything. Can we just, like, if they launch the Pro or they launch whatever, like, the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called, it's coming next year.
It's going to destroy everything.
Clean house, man.
Yeah,
That
it is.
Switch is going to dominate, especially since they
Yes.
worked in tandem with NVIDIA to
NVIDIA,
give performance.
exactly. And that
it is going
like,
to
do what you were
dominate.
talking about, baked in, right? Like the
Yeah.
AI tech that they're gonna have NVIDIA's DLSS baked in to the Switch.
And
That's what
why
they're doing.
why will it sell like gangbusters? Because the whole entire world loves Nintendo. Don't know why.
Yep.
I
Don't know
mean,
why? Because they make games that people want to play. They make
I
game
know,
ass
I
games.
understand that, but for me personally, it's like most of their games don't interest me at all, and they
Okay,
don't.
So like the reason,
You know, and I'm like that too, Fonz, but then there's that one game, like the Super Mario Wonder, that just
yeah, I know.
brings you
It
back
was-
in. Man.
Yeah,
I
but
never got it.
I say the same thing all the time, and then they just drop a game. I'm like, oh crap!
Hopefully
like if
Nintendo will just,
if
like,
a new Mario Kart
re-energize-
drops, like I gotta
I don't-
cop it.
I listen. I
Hopefully
don't,
Nintendo
like,
re-energizes the industry and gets everybody pushing, working harder, and because
yeah, I hope so
the
too.
Switch, the Super Switch or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be really popular.
Super Switch.
Hopefully, it
Yeah.
just re-energizes the industry because right now it is in such a lull. They're just laying there, and thankfully some games are looking cool coming up. But I want it to re-energize and push PlayStation and Xbox really hard to do something more exciting because right now
They're not.
So
A
I'm
lot
going
of the
to say
games.
that
Yeah, go ahead.
The
Zach.
biggest thing that the biggest thing that Nintendo does is, like I just said, is they make game ass games. It's just a game. You're like, this is a game that they just throw you in, you have fun, and you just play. And that's back to Space Marine 2 kind of. That's what people, the biggest compliment they gave, they're like, this is just a game. Like, it's just a game ass game. I'm having fun. Like,
By
that
the
is
way-
what Nintendo does.
That is what people liked about Hellblade 2 for a few months there.
I will literally jump out my window if
Holy
that's what
crap.
you think a game ass game is.
That's a
that
game
was
ass
the biggest troll from Fonz to ever
Not
come
Hellblade.
across
Not
the
Hellblade.
airwaves.
Sorry, Helldivers 2.
Helldivers.
2.
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Oh, Jesus.
Gosh, I can't believe I said Hellblade.
You did. I was like, what are
my
you talking? And he was serious. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we're on the
Oh
same
my
level.
I don't
bud.
think we're because we weren't. Yeah, I meant Helldivers 2. Excuse me.
I
Very
was
easy to
pushing
confuse.
forward, and that was a game.
Ass game. King Leighton with the 279 says, I missed you guys. RDX hits different. Best pod. 100. Yeah, we miss RDX too. And Angry Hippie with the $2 says, can this be mini RDX? Can it be once a month event? Oh man, that would be awesome. These guys are awesome.
Like a circus show every month, we just go to a different
Yeah,
channel.
exactly. Just everybody's channel just change every month. Yeah, that would be perfect. We'd all love that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Anyways, man, I just think that these games, what we're getting to earlier with this Colt, lately I've been in sort of a gaming funk with a lot of the new games. Flintlock kind of turned me off with the stutters and stuff, and I was like, really? So I put that down, not saying I'm not going to go back to it. Hopefully they do patch it and fix it. I checked it yesterday. It was still doing it, so I'm like, they're probably not going to patch it.
Red Dead is.
But Red Dead 2, I've been playing Red Dead 2. I had to go to an old game. I'm going to all these old games because none of the new games I'm trying are really speaking to me.
You couldn't go to a good old game. You had to go to a shitty one like Red Dead 2.
Zucker, we're not going to go to a game that came out when the Backstreet Boys were brand new, all right? Jeez.
I don't know, but Zucker, you're having an issue. Zucker, you're having an issue lately with being in a gaming funk as well with these new titles. So you're in the same boat.
I am.
How do you guys not have games to play? You guys are way too selective.
I have games to play.
No, I have them to play. It's just they're not.
I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima on PC. I think it's great. I love it. But I've been in a do you know what it is for me? Like, I want a co-op game. Like, I want something that I can jump in with a buddy and all my friends. So, like, what we've been playing is, like, League of Legends, Apex Legends. Like, it's games as a service at this point. And it's, like, that's why, when they announced Gears, I was like, I'm about to flip my fucking table. I'm so happy. My Zulkin table. I'm so happy about it. But, like, it's because I want to play a game with my friends, and that's why I'm so hyped for Space Marine 2, because I want to play with my buddies, but I want something new. Like, that's just me and my preference. That's it. And that's what Xbox, that's why I was an Xbox fan, because they always made those types of games for me. I liked co-op games. That's what they would always bring out, and I loved it. And we had fun doing the campaign, and then we'd go do some multiplayer, go do whatever. Like, that's just me. And so, like, single player games, you really need to pull me in like pretty hardcore if I'm going to spend 40 hours by myself. That's just me though.
Yeah, I want a good story and a big open world to explore. Man, Elden Ring DLC was it for me this year. That's really probably my game of the year this year so far. I loved the DLC. Yeah, the DLC.
Like, the game that I'm looking forward to coming out like in a couple weeks is War Within, World of Warcraft. Going to be playing that with my buddies. I love World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, that's coming soon, right?
Yeah, so we're going to jump into that. We already started doing some of the pre-patch stuff, like enjoying it. Hey, it's great. I'm going to play as my warrior. It's fun as hell. After that, I'm going to play Space Marine 2. And then after that, I'm looking forward to Diablo 4, the expansion. Like, I am so stoked for that because it looks dope. And again, because I play with my buddies. That's just me.
Yeah. Colt, what are you looking forward to, man?
This fall?
Yeah.
Avowed.
Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed. Yes, that's what we're looking forward to.
I am looking very, very, very cautiously looking forward to Outlaws. If it I'll just say that if it gets a 76 or higher, because I do use an OpenCritic or Metacritic score as one of my like 3 should I buy it or should I play it?
Your barometers
right? Yeah, I mean, I definitely use that. So I think if it's in the upper 70s, I'm gonna play it, and I'll probably, hey, I liked it, and I'm looking forward to Shadows, Assassin's Creed, Indiana Jones, which I'm pretty sure is coming out this year. I'm also very cautious about Indiana Jones.
Well, it better come out this year. I think it might
be an outlier for Machine Games, kind of a weird thing. Because it's not just shoot, punch people and rip them apart. So we'll see what happens with Indiana Jones. Those are what I'm looking forward to. Space Marine 2. Yeah. What am I? Astrobot. I'm gonna blow the dust off of my Black Blades PS5 and play Astrobot, and I won't play Concord or Silent Hill 2.
I don't blame you.
That's what I'm.
Hargeet, you said it months back on this show. Actually, we were talking about all the games that are coming for Xbox, and I think you told me that they're probably going to end up pushing a game into 2025 because there's too many, and it would be fine. And that's the way I'm looking at it too. I'm fine with it, but what if they were to push out Avowed as well? I mean, not Avowed, Indiana Jones, since Avowed was already pushed.
I think they need to have one of those two come out. So,
me too.
I think it'd be better they put it. Hopefully they get it out this year. So I'm hoping Indy comes out. Look, Unknown 9, that was one of the ones I wanted to play. I don't know if that's still coming. I assume it is, but and there's several others. There's also games on other platforms like Zelda and Mario that I wanted to play. And then Indie is the other one I'm looking forward to on the Xbox side. But there's so many others too. Like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Age of Mythology. Sorry, that's another one.
Yeah, Age of Mythology. Ara's coming. So
Sorry.
There's plenty. There's also Flight Sim that's gonna have missions now. I want to try that out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Concord. Can't wait. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm waiting for
Concord.
I'm playing Concord. I'll be there. No, I like you guys, man. Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed games. I know people give me a hard time here, even on my show, calling me a Ubisoft stan and all this stuff. I don't care. I love those Ubisoft tropes. I love the big open world.
So do I.
Love to check off each little thing on the map and, doing what I want to do on the map and skipping the stuff I don't want to do, if I can skip it. But very looking forward to that. The Star Wars Outlaws, again, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. I'm still kind of hesitant on that game. I'm going to play it, though, because I'm just going to sign up for a month of Ubisoft Plus, play the game, and then unsubscribe. Because you can do that. You have that choice. And so I'll pay, $19 or whatever it is to play the game.
I'm legit waiting. I'm going to wait because I have so many games to play in between that fucking thing, like WoW and then Space Marine 2, then Age of Mythology, that I'm like,
is this 2004?
What'd you say?
How close is Space Marine 2 to like AC Shadows or Star Wars Outlaw? Star Wars Outlaw is like the very last day of August. When Space Marine 2,
Space Marine 2 comes out on the 9th.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's way too close because Outlaws is they say it's a big open world and it's a Ubisoft game. I'm not going to finish that in a fucking week. Like I can't. Like it's not going to happen.
You can't even finish your peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I barely could, man. But I always tend to.
Yeah. Wow. You're still playing WoW. It's 2004 again in your house.
I honestly go. You have a PC now and you're PC Master Race and you love it. Check it out, man. It is a lot different than what you think.
I used to play the heck out of it. It's crack. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to get addicted.
See, I wanted you to admit that.
I've never played
it's good.
I'm glad you didn't, Colt, because it's addicting.
What about Valorant? Has anybody tried that on console? Is it any good?
I don't know.
I don't need to play. I have a lot of hours of Valorant on PC.
My son does on PC.
I've gone top. Like I enjoy Valorant a lot. That's actually one of the big weekend games me and my buddies play. Like if we're on weekend, because me and my buddy, we get on and we stay sometimes on till really late. So Valorant's one of the big games that we play, and it's either that or Counter-Strike.
And is the Game Pass stuff cool?
Huh?
Is the Game Pass stuff cool?
I mean, you just get all the characters. It doesn't really matter. You just get instead of unlocking them, you just get them. But like I play enough where that doesn't really matter because I'm gonna unlock everything anyways because we play ranked and play a bunch and we kill a lot of shit and you get points for doing that. So it's pretty.
Got it.
I really like Valorant. I think it's probably number 3 in shooters for me. Like number 1 is probably Counter-Strike tied with Apex Legends. Like I'd go to those first, and then Valorant would be like number 3 if we wanted to play shooters.
It's interesting that Counter-Strike never made it to console, right? It's always stayed on.
It is. It's on console.
Is Counter-Strike made it to console?
The new update, Counter-Strike.
What'd you say, D?
You played the update to Counter-Strike?
Yeah, the Counter-Strike 2 that came out like 7 months ago.
Yeah, did you play it?
Yeah, of course.
Dropped
I
a
just
fork.
heard like a fuck. Dude, did you just throw like your bowl of cereal away? What is happening?
Remember when
This mic
Taylor
is
got
picking up
mad?
everything but my voice. What the hell?
Remember Taylor got mad because Soccer was eating something on the podcast? He's
Yeah,
like, what are you
baby
eating? He's like, I'm
carrots.
eating popcorn. He goes,
Baby
"Sounds like you're eating
carrots.
boiled cereal."
Oh my gosh.
Soccer's like,
I see it.
I like
now.
to eat popcorn with a spoon. What can I say? We're like, who the F eats popcorn with a spoon? Soccer's like, me, Soccer.
I don't give a shit.
Soccer.
I don't want my hands to get all greasy while I'm touching my keyboard, typing to people in the chat.
Picture you with a big wooden spoon.
We have so many games coming out. Stalker 2. Holy smokes, that's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm hoping
You think
that's
so?
going to be
Hopefully it'll
good.
right?
I'm
Hoping
not hyped
Stalker.
for that game at all.
Because
I
I mean, Do you like? You don't like the Metro games?
So,
Exodus.
I enjoy the Metro games, but I'm sick of that setting. That like
I like
Eastern European
I
post-apocalyptic or whatever it's called. Like just like it's just I'm done with it. Like I've played it so many times. I'm just over it, and I don't like Fallout that much either. I don't like the setting. It's not my thing.
Zocca is a
Counter-Strike 2, by the way, is not on,
fire,
console, right? I don't know.
Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike 2 is not on console. No.
Yeah,
it's for real. It's for real gamers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's like 700 FPS. Come on, console guys don't know what to do with that.
Yeah,
that sound effect was.
I don't know what
freaking
monitor
perfect.
plays that, but okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's you know what? It's gonna be. I got to be blunt about it. It so far, even though I've had good games here and there to play this gen, it's been a crappy gen for me. It's not been all that hype so far, and I'm hoping it turns around here at the end of the generation, and we get some really good games. But I don't know. We'll see.
It's been underwhelming. I expected so much more from this generation.
We got
I said screw it, man. I can't deal with this 30 FPS whenever it did happen, and I just
Hargeet's just laughing at us because we're too picky. We're too picky.
Well, yeah, like I don't know what you guys are talking about. There's so many great games.
Xbox games are on
you just
PC.
had Cyberpunk and whatever.
The problem with this generation is half of PlayStation's first party. Well, a third of PlayStation's first party games have been remasters and ports up from PS4, and then most of their stuff's been cross generation. And then Xbox has hardly put out any games that didn't go to PlayStation. So, and we're still waiting for Xbox's big games to finally arrive. And Starfield and Indiana Jones are kind of amongst the ones that they promised back in 2018 that they were going to bring this first-party suite of studios forward. And if I look back and I'm looking at my graphic, where it's been like Dust Falls, Grounded, Minecraft Legends, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Deathloop, Age of Empires, like 2 games, 2 Quake remasters, like I've had some great experiences this generation, but I wouldn't say it's been a incredible one. And on PlayStation,
same.
It was mostly just games that we played on the PS4. And if it wasn't, it was just a direct sequel like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon and stuff like that. So it hasn't been stellar for sure. But the last thing I'll say about this is Xbox and PlayStation are both at around an 82 out of 100. So that's a really good score for what they're putting out. But we want to feel like we're getting big 9 out of 10s from these studios that are making these games. So, I don't know.
And you know, it's not just that. It's not enough. We've been talking about this, Colt. It almost seems like, look, they've Xbox. Let's focus on Xbox here. They acquired how many studios since 2018, and we're not really seeing the fruits of that labor yet. Like from each studio, like there's so much that they showed off years ago that we're still waiting on, and it just, it I don't know.
I guess
maybe
the difference is I don't care what specific platforms are giving me. I'm caring about games that I get to play, and I've had so many great experiences over the last 4 years that I don't see it being negative. There's been so many great games. I don't know why it's a negative that like
for me,
whatever. I don't know.
Well,
for
you
me
love a lot of
the big positive has been Game Pass, man. Game Pass.
Yeah, but Hargeet loves AA games more than, you know, probably AAA games, to be honest.
Well, but look, Hogwarts Legacy outsold freaking Call of Duty. It was such a fantastic game.
That was a great game.
Like, that was a great game.
Great game.
That's AAA though.
AAA. Yeah.
That's AAA.
I mean, Hargeet, I get what you're saying, and I don't care about the platform. I don't care about all that. I care about the games that are coming out. And right now, we are about to be 2 generations in without an Elden Ring. I'm about to not have a freaking Gears of War for 6 years. I'm sorry. Elder Scrolls. Sorry. We're about to go 2 generations without an Elder Scrolls. Like, so no, and sorry, not an Elden Ring. Sorry, but an Elder Scrolls, and that's isn't that even worse? But like,
Baldur's
what I'm
Gate
saying,
3, I hated it. Well, not hated it. I didn't like it. It was boring to me. But a lot of people loved it. It's one of the big games.
I guess my point. I guess the point is that what I'm trying to say with this generation is that study came out in 2023 that 60% of gamers play games that are 6 years old, 6 years or older. And it's like, because there isn't a franchise.
Yeah, but those are the long-term games, right? The Minecraft.
But no, but like
that's
the point though, is that like there's nothing else coming out that's like, oh, holy shit, like grab you. And maybe it is like there's just no innovation in live service.
I think more gamers just gravitate towards that, right? So Destiny, for instance, is a 10-year game, so people just played the 10-year game, and like I don't think that's a bad thing, but I don't know.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not an innovation within games as a service games, right? Maybe it's not an innovation in that, like something.
I like Halo. Did you guys not like Halo? I thought it was great.
I mean, I got over 1,000 achievements in Halo.
You know what it is, Hargeet? For me, I'm only speaking about myself. Last generation, and this is across all platforms, I played more games per year than I'm playing now. This year, I played a bunch of games on PC, but it's games I've replayed. They're older games because I'm not finding anything new that I'm really gravitated to. That is the problem, I think.
It's more like what you brought up like years ago, Hargeet, where you said that you would take a hit on graphics and things like that if they get out games more at a better cadence. So that's that's to me why this is a bad thing, because we had 3 Mass Effects games in one generation. We had 3 Batman games in one generation. We had how many Dragon Ages in one generation? How many of these games came out where it was like trilogy on trilogy, BioShock, Gears of War, Halo?
And they were all really good, Zucker. All of them were really good.
Yeah, and they were good and innovative and fun. And that's like right now I feel like that's what's missing, is that they're taking too much time to make these games. And then on top of it, it's taking too much time to get whatever the juice is out of the consoles, which I think they already tapped the juice out of the consoles, and people are just don't want to accept that. And so to me, it's more like, and then developers bringing out games half fucking baked and broken. That is, I think, one of the it's so one of the, everybody's gonna laugh, but yeah, I'm a PC guy, whatever. But Gabe Newell, he said it the best. Gabe said it the best. He said piracy, like people torrenting games, isn't a money thing. It's an experience thing. And he's saying if you're gonna make something an experience that's worth paying for, people will come. Just like everybody thought Spotify was going to freaking die, it didn't. Mm-hmm. And it's making an insane amount of money because it's a good experience. People get to have their music where they need it. So Gabe Newell's like, we're just going to make Steam and people are going to buy games here because we make it a great experience. So I'm saying game developers haven't made their games great experience. I'm not even saying Xbox or PlayStation. I'm saying the developers that bring out unoptimized, broken games, that's a problem. Like, I think that is hurting gaming more than any platform can hurt gaming. That's just me.
And honestly, and the types of games they're making as well, in my opinion. Gas games are just not something that I want, and we're seeing more of those being pushed out there.
And saturating the market.
Yeah, way oversaturating the market with that kind of stuff. That's why Concord didn't do well. Let's face it, they've already got an Overwatch. Why do they need a Concord?
Concord's a Valorant. Trying to be Valorant.
It's got a lot of even the same special moves as freaking Overwatch. It's crazy.
That's great.
Biff, I'm looking for your member chat, and I don't see it, man. I was gonna read it, but I don't see it, Biff. I can't find it. I'm sorry. It doesn't highlight those. It should highlight those. Damn it. All right. Anyways.
But if you go back to the first 3.5 years or whatever of like the Xbox One gen, did you really have a lot of great games? I mean, you had Titanfall and Rise.
Yeah, the first 2 years.
Oh, you're talking about Xbox.
Are you talking about exclusives, or because that like Dead Rising 3?
No. I'm just talking about games, right? So
Dragon Age Inquisition was fucking awesome.
And Dragon Age is coming out this year, right? Let's not forget that's coming this year, right? And like, so that's what I'm asking. Like, is it really that different, or is it just you want more and it just feels like you're not?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not playing as many new games as I was last gen. In the same time frame. I'm not.
So, Hargeet, I'm not even talking about the Xbox One gen. I'm talking about the Xbox 360 gen, which everybody considers like the Xbox 360, PS3 gen to be like the go.
Well, the 360, that's fine. But you said, I think, Fonz, you said like last gen, right? So Xbox One gen, the first 3 years, what did you really play?
I was on PlayStation 4. I was playing the shiz out of Destiny. I was playing, like, honestly, I put a lot of time into Destiny.
And I'm not happy that you did
You're
that.
not really playing any new games. So like,
No. And for the first few years, that's how it was. And then after that, I played.
This is the first few years.
Well, but there's no Destiny for me to dwell on here. You know what I'm saying? There's not
Destiny,
that game.
There's
not that game for me to pine over for the first few years. But I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like what I'm waiting for now. It seems like I keep waiting. Okay, when's that next big open world game? Oh, I've got to wait. You know, I got to keep waiting.
I keep asking you to try freaking Yakuza, but you guys just keep like, and you like Yakuza 0. You just stop.
Here's the thing about Yakuza. But here's the thing about Yakuza that I don't like. The gameplay. I love the storyline. The gameplay itself is awful. God awful. Like the fighting and stuff in it, it's just, to me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But the story is amazing.
Yeah.
And the acting, if you listen to it in the Japanese acting, it's really good. Really good.
And it does have an open worldy thing to it, right? So, I mean, I don't know. You guys could always play that.
Yeah, but
there's a bunch of them available.
That's why I replayed Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, and now I'm playing Red Dead 2. Replaying games that I love. So, you know, that's all I can do.
There's lots of games if you want to play them. There's lots of games. I literally have 130 installed on my console and another 30 installed on my PC. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Alfonso,
there's so many games I can't even keep up.
I tried the first
for those platforms.
Yeah, I tried the first Descendant. I played that for about a week, and I just got tired of it. And I tried Once Human, and I really liked Once Human until I read about how they reset your stats every 6 weeks. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I think partially I'm having a personal issue with how I'm looking at games, and I'll look at these things that they're adding to Game Pass. I'm like, no thanks. And I've been doing that a lot. And I think a couple of years ago, or even a year ago, I might have went, I'll try that. And I'd give a game a shot for many hours or finish it. But I have less tolerance for some of the tiddly widdly crap that Xbox is dumping into Game Pass, when they really should be like, look, our games are, we're leaving you 8 to 9 months with nothing from our studios. So like somebody said earlier at the very beginning of the show, hey, is Space Marine 2 on Game Pass? I'm like, I don't understand why Xbox didn't go, hey, it's our job to provide a premier experience on our platform because we need to earn our way into this industry. So they should be going out and saying, hey, how much does it cost to get Space Marine 2 into Game Pass? It can still sell on Xbox, still sell on PC, Steam, Epic, and PS5, whatever, right? They need to start spending that money, but Xbox is so cheap, so reactive. I look at Game Pass and I'm like, I don't want to play these little games. And I look at them, I'm like, this isn't what I want right now. I want my type of game, and they're not giving me. I really don't. Maybe my type of game is just way too narrow. And I've told Hargeet.
Same for me.
Same for me. I'm like, I am so narrow-minded in what I actually start to like over this past few years that it's really my personal problem. But Xbox should, right, Zucker? They should be providing a measured amount of big, blockbuster games or popular games.
And I will say to like Hargeet's point. I will say to Hargeet's point, like, yeah, there are a lot of games, and Hargeet plays a lot lot of games. He plays everything. And I've always said that.
He does.
Since
he's
joined
RDX game, Return to Grace last night, and like it's like, hey, whatever, it's just there.
I wish.
But for me, it's like
I could be more like Hargeet with games. I wish I could do that and love these games. I wish I could.
I guess for me, it's more like I barely like. For me right now, like time wise, like I played Hogwarts, I played Elden Ring, I played all these other games, but like if I'm gonna sit down and play a game by myself, especially if it's not multiplayer, it needs to be I can't play the little games anymore.
It can't be Super Unicorn 5.
And if I do play those smaller games, I do play it on the ROG, or I'll play it on the Steam Deck, like in bed, chilling. That's when I play them. But that is not, I don't consider that like, oh, this is my premier experience, right? This is just something that's great for me now. I get to play it for 20, 30 minutes. If I don't like it, I bounce. And then I uninstall.
Point though, you just have to play and have fun.
But that's the point. If I'm not having fun, like I didn't have fun playing Hellblade 2 at all. I fucking hated it, and I beat it. But I was like, I want to beat it just in case I messed up. I'm not saying Helldivers 2. I'm saying Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 sucked ass. So I'm just sitting there like, cool. This is not fun for me. This is not a fun game, and it's not supposed to be fun. They made it intentionally in a way, and I get that. But for me, it's like I want to have fun. Like this is why the Space Marine's so exciting for me, or WoW is exciting for me, because it's just fun to me. It's a different. So maybe my tastes have changed.
Well, let's hope it is, right? And by the way, there are games outside of Game Pass, right? You guys can go buy games.
I haven't played.
Yes, and I've been trying games.
I haven't
on
played
PC.
a game. I haven't played a Game Pass. I haven't played a game on Game Pass since Hellblade 2, because
to be
nothing
fair,
has appealed to me.
I think I have to.
Where's like Ken Levine's making Judas? I'm really excited about that, but those games seem so few and far between anymore. And the games that we love that just took off on the 360 PS3 era, those franchises, like they haven't really returned. And I'm waiting for like a new Mass Effect, a new Fallout game, a new Borderlands, a new BioShock, a new Deus Ex, like all these, and they're not. They don't exist.
And like I don't know, man.
And Starfield sucked.
I love Starfield. Like whatever.
I love Starfield, but I'm looking for these. I'm looking for these games, and they're so few and far between. And then to compound the thing that Hargeet and I've talked for hours about is that games no longer take 2 years; they take 6 years. So the problem is so compounded. Right.
I'm the only game that I'm looking at to play now that I haven't, because I waited for patches. I'm gonna play AC Mirage because I know it's a smaller game. I'm gonna enjoy it.
That was great.
Yeah, so like that game I'm gonna check out. Same with the Avatar game. Like I want to check that one out. But I guess my problem is that I'm just waiting for game. And I said like the hardest thing for me is that the games, the way they're launching, is more detriment to gaming than anything else, because they're broken, and they are. We can't fucking go around it. It is what it is. Developers are bringing out shit unoptimized or broken or whatever it is, and that to me is like, I don't want to play your fucking game, your Zalkin game, if it's going to be broken.
Your Zalkin game.
Your Zalkin game.
I love it, man. You've adapted to it. You're using
trying
Zalkin.
to. I do curse a lot. So
well, guess what, guys? It's getting late, and I know these gentlemen are going to have to get off
1
here
o'clock
as well.
my time.
But it's 1 o'clock, Dee Batch's time. And you know what? And I appreciate you, Dee, for joining. Hargeet, as always, brother, it's been awesome. But we got to let these gentlemen go. Awesome. And look, I loved my time here with you guys, but I want to get off the air. But we got to do this again. No. I'm gonna jump on. I'm gonna jump on some Red Dead Redemption, so I'll be there in party chat. Wait, guys.
I just gotta say, this is Fonz. You threw this together so fast, and being on here with these guys is like it's home, and
it feels great.
Dude, thank you so much.
And we need to do this and do a round robin and go to each other's channels and do this like once a month.
Oh, I think it would be. You guys up because
I think it would be cool to do this. Like everybody can like take turns hosting, and I think it could be an awesome thing to do every once in a while. You know. People love it.
Do it a little different time. We can even get gas.
Yeah. We could change. We could change whenever. Whoever's got the whatever night you're doing your show on or whatever. It's fine. Whatever. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out to this. This was really awesome. I love talking to these guys. Of course, everybody's got to do their outros. Hargeet, of course, I'm going to start with you being the co-host of the show. Let everybody know where they can find you and stuff, man.
Yeah, sure. You can subscribe to my channel, Hargeet 1. Maybe we'll even do a stream there. And then if you want to get my book, if you don't already know about it, shop.china.us. I wrote a sci-fi book in the vein of Mass Effect. Take a look if you want. And then I will be on Night Shift with C-Money and Doodle on Friday at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern on Gamers. Check that
out. Is that it? Boom? You got That's Boom? Okay, you got Boom.
Boom's is next Wednesday. It's right before this, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday.
Yeah, you were just with Boom just a few hours ago. By the way, real quick, never mind, it's gone. Colt, let everybody know where they can find you, my friend.
You You can find me on Fonz's podcast, Games Talk Live, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can find me there once in a while. You can check me out at Colt Eastwood, and thank you for having me on, man. This is really, like, I'll say it twice. It's been great. And check out my shows on Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be bringing on some more people to kind of talk about this stuff. So, yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Boss,
yeah, of course.
You're amazing.
Likewise.
Bro, we've been friends for a long time.
7 years going on. Yeah. You know what's funny? I've seen people in the chat already hitting up saying, next time have Tim on. Yes, he was invited. He had to go to bed. It was too late. But if we were to do this again on somebody else's channel some other time, Tim Dog may join. And I think that would be a really fun conversation for sure, because we're all good friends with Tim still.
I don't want that pony staining my channel. The fuck?
Oh, soccer. No, soccer's kid.
What channel, soccer?
You shut your freaking mouth, sir.
Oh, man. Zocker, by the way.
That's Zockin mouth.
I would tell people, I would say tell people where they can find you, but obviously nowhere except Dumpster out back, because you don't have a channel. No, you have a channel, but are you going to come back and make content?
I've been legitimately thinking about just doing when I can, like a podcast solo, like, because I can't commit to a time because of work.
And then just invite like people every now and then.
Yeah, if I can invite people or just talk to myself.
Talk to yourself.
I don't know.
That's great.
Because I just really miss. I really miss like, the fucking.
Jeez, well, Zocker,
I really miss just talking.
What do you think about it?
I really zocked that. It was very zocking.
There you go.
It'll make me zock all over you. It's just I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it, but I do miss talking. I miss doing podcasts, man. And then so you guys can find me at Zocker87 and never on Twitter because I'm trash on there. But honestly, I've just been working a lot and just playing games as a service like a freaking dumbass. So that's pretty much where I've been, man. And yeah, drop a Zolk on the chat.
Yeah,
drop a Zolk.
I myself have not been going to Twitter much at all anymore. It's rare. Like it's just It's no reason to be there and hang out. I just use it to interact with people in the DMs and stuff. Anyways, Dee Batch, can't forget about you, the technical wizard here, the man that knows everything about TVs inside and out, and also pretty good at computers, right? So anyways, Dee, let everybody know where they can find you. You do have a channel that you do post on.
Yes. But first, I gotta say, I'm looking at the graphics here. It looks like I'm staring somewhere in the bottom of Zocker's basement.
You're staring at Zocker.
The whole podcast.
Yeah, the whole time you've just been molesting me with those eyes. I don't know what to do with
zocking you.
You guys can find me on YouTube.
Zocking you.
You guys can find me at YouTube at D_Batch. This summer I didn't really put a lot of gaming videos out, to be honest. I modded my ROG Ally. There's a video of how I did it and how I upgraded the hard drive and the mod case. So I did a video on that. And I've been like outside riding electric bikes and scooters. So I did like a scooter review where I'm riding a scooter like, almost 60 kilometers in the street. So that's on the channel. But we'll be back to gaming later this month. But yeah, man, in the summertime, I'm like outdoors, man. I stay away from gaming completely. I just go outside, man. Straight up.
Oh man, Colt said, "Were you wearing pants in the video?"
But that thing goes fast. I gotta wear like a full face helmet, man. That
fast as fuck, boy.
Oh man, scooter Dee Batch is gonna be in the Scooter Olympics this year. Look out for him. 2024 gold medalist.
Scooter. Check it out, man.
Hey, when is Tesla Talks coming back?
I'm like traumatized forever for that.
Oh, Tesla Talks. Oh man.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Do you guys remember when Dee Batch's channel was stolen and then they put up these Tesla videos?
Right. Yo, honestly, tell you,
but bro,
they hooked you up. So traumatic, so traumatic. And when you go through that, you get all of the bots and all the scammers that they message you. Hey, send me $200. I can get all your information back.
Oh man!
It was a nightmare. Sure. It was a nightmare.
Well,
they fixed you up pretty quick though. They got you in about a day or two.
Yeah, they did. You know what? It was the YouTube representative on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. they really helped me out, and they got it back to me. I think like within like 2 or 3 days.
Because they have your stuff like mirrored on a server. So.
Yeah, but it was that man.
Did you lose any content or all your stuff came back?
Yeah, I got all my stuff back. It took a while, so thankfully they didn't delete all my stuff. Sometimes these jerks, they delete all your. Actually, no, they did delete all my stuff.
They do delete it, but they have mirrors of your.
Yeah. So they had a mirror and they replaced it. Yeah.
Fudge, bro. We were sweating for you, bro.
Yeah, bro. That sucked. And then recently, behind the scenes, I guess some troll tried to get my channel banned, and I got this message saying, "Oh, your channel is no longer monetized because you don't do original content." I was like, "What the hell?" So I had to like reach out. I did a review and they denied it. I had to like reach out to somebody physically to get that overturned. So like trolls and like scammers, beware, man. If you got a channel, man, much less a little channel like mine. These guys that have big channels that get their stuff stolen. I seen guys with like 100, 200K subscribers get their stuff hijacked, and Tesla Talks made a return.
Yeah. Well, anyways, with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody for showing out tonight, coming to the podcast, checking it out. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. But as always, until next time.
Keep crying all you want, but your games are still going to PlayStation.